Alright. Looks like we're back up. Things are going okay. And here we go. Okay. Oh, also, one other thing. Before I get too far into things, and I forget again. I'm working on, making plushies, right? I can't see very well, but I'm making this little lion guy. He's got little ears up here, and the mane, whatnot, coming along pretty good, and here's going to be his body. Probably going to be done by tomorrow. I only got a few pieces left to put together. But here's his little foot. Oops, other one. He's got a little foot here. 2 feet that go like this, sit down. Eventually look like this or some such. It's interesting. They have different techniques for how they go together, as opposed to the Monokuma one. I like some, and I don't like others. It's interesting. I'm learning. But I'll have something to show you, probably by tomorrow. I'll work at it, but we'll see. Alright, so, in Umineko, where did we leave off? We left off, logic errors is where we left off. Battler gave Erica packing tape, 3 rooms worth. In German you go like that, right? 3 rooms worth of packing tape. She used to seal all the humans inside the room, and then seal Battler's, the room his body was in, which was, I think, the guest room? Alright. And she did that retroactively and apparently caused a potential logic error to Battler. And he's trying to figure it out, and then Featherin and Angie were discussing it. The greatest sin a game master can make is a logic error. Alright, so let's just put that over here. And that's where we left off with these guys. And so Battler was left in quite the predicament of potentially having all routes of whatever cut off. Hey, Leaf Fair Trinity, welcome! We came back! Huzzah, we got another one, guys! Anyway, welcome. Just got over the summary, if you can call it that, really, of what we were at. And so, let's... Yeah, slide those over to the side. There we are, now I can reach it. Alright, let's get to it. Featherin and Angie were talking about the logic error, consistency, and requirements for a game master. Take this down. Yeah. And that's where we left off. And Battler is at least a grade B idiot when it comes to pretty girls crying about things. Let's see if he had any foresight at all, or if he was just entirely trusting of Erica or whatnot. Because I'm also interested where this scenario could go, because apparently the witch side is able to make anything happen if they can explain it, while the human side just has to disprove it to win. Evil logic error. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back into it. This world is a game that's possible to explain with humans. In other words, it must be possible for all magic to have been done by tricks as well. If it's impossible to do with tricks, then the human side has no move, and we get a stalemate. Kind of what I just said. Ish. No, not quite. That's where we get the fatal and horrible violation known as a logic error. When the witch side does this, the game is instantly destroyed, and they suffer a fatal defeat. Erika has probably seen through to Oni-chan's trick. Without the detective's authority, she couldn't perform a proper examination of the corpses. Because of that, he continued to play dead, snuck out of the guest room, and placed a letter at the entrance to the guest house. However, because Battler was so overly gracious in giving out those retroactive seals, things went wrong. The key nail in the coffin was the retroactive. That is not something you ever exercise unless it's truly mundane. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tie my shoes. You remember to tie your shoes. Oh wait, I forgot to pay the... You paid the taxi guy, don't worry about shit like that. But things like, I perfectly sealed the room your fake body was in. That's kind of a big thing to not give retroactively. Stupid Oni-chan. The current situation still does not warrant panic. It still hasn't been specified as red truth that the seals from the guest room are intact. He is free to break the seals. If he doesn't, then he can probably have it so that someone when Battler was alive and swap them in with the person who placed the letter. That's right. It's not just Oni-chan. The other corpses haven't been specified as dead by the red yet. So far, there wouldn't be any problem if they were all faking. True. This is far too soon for them to get flustered. All he has to do is change his moves so that Erika's seals and the placements of letter don't contradict each other. And revising the plot without contradictions is one of the moves available to the Game Master. That really screws with anyone trying to figure things out. However, taking the scenario one has imagined and revising it partway through can sometimes create flaws in the tale. It would be a very regrettable move to make when the first fight has only just ended. It would seem that Battler was the one with an enemy piece moved deep behind his lines. This hidden piece will probably cause some pain and discomfort with each step from now on, like a pebble caught in one shoe. This single pebble might kill Battler. Yeah, the simplest countering to Erika's new move is to simply have people break the seals. In trying to preserve them and prevent them from being broken to prove things, it's just more hassle. Just open it up and, hey look, your seals are now worthless, you have no more. But it would take a turn to do that, I guess. This still isn't quite a logic error. And though we sealed the room retroactively, we are at fault for the lateness in reporting it. So I have no problem with letting Battler-san retroactively rewrite the plot concerning this letter. Retroactively rewrite the plot? I see. If I place a letter there, then that would become impossible as soon as I was sealed in that closed room. In which case, this letter should have appeared there. Correct? So, I thought you should have the chance to revise this small inconsistency. It's not small. We just now discovered this letter here. We are saying that we do not mind if you want to undo that, or if you want to use a revised scenario. Just by the existence of the letter and packing tape, this sort of move is possible for Furuta Erika. What do you think, everyone? Damn, what a dirty move. Well, what else should I expect from Erika? I made a promise with Dylan too, that we'd both play all out and mercilessly. And here's the thing, if Battler accepts that he can, well, retroactively change the plot of it, That means he's accepted that Battler was his main strategy, which is information that Erica can use. Yeah, it's true. I'd been planning to make Battler actually alive, and then to have him slip out of the guest room, resulting in his disappearance and in the placement of the letter. However, if I revise this around now that my move's been spotted, it'll be the same as admitting that it was spotted. Even if I have to be stubborn about it, I don't want to admit that I was seen through here. I don't want to acknowledge a pathetic plot change where I tried to sneak out of the guest room and break the seals. I want to change over to a different trick, so that the letter will be placed and my corpse hidden, while still preserving the seals on the guest room. Can't do it, you said a room's worth. It really doesn't have to be me who places that letter. I can still revise the logic without contradictions. But, Battler-san, even if you can't place the letter somehow, how are you going to make your corpse in the chef room? The guest room is sealed. If you don't find a trick to erase the corpse from the closed room right now, a logic error will occur. I still have time. Let me think until the last second. Damn it. With a painful laugh, Battler unconsciously scratched at his head. Anyway, we'll leave the letter like this. I can't say, oh, sorry about that, having the guest room sealed with a big contradiction, so I'd like to revise my move. It would mean acknowledging that she caught me. I feel like a ninja hiding above the ceiling. Even though I was noticed and stabbed by a spear, I just withstand the pain, wipe the blood off the spear, and act as though nothing happened. False courage works well enough. I can't let her know that this one hurt. Battler-san. Hey, Beto. Do you know what my face looks like now? I'm sure it's the same expression you had when I managed to hit you where it hurts in the past. Damn it. Beto couldn't think of anything to say. Useless words of comfort would only get in the way of Battler's thinking now. What would the old you do? The old you who created all of the closed rooms that tormented me so much in the past. What kind of trick would she use to erase my corpse from a closed room? Well, any of the things you had weren't a perfectly sealed room. Beto trembled and groaned. The old her had been an expert at closed room tricks. If only that memory, that power, could be revived, she would be able to help Battler. There's still time to think. There's still time. Nice going, Erica. That was a dirty move. Yep. Absolutely. Umineko no Nakakoto Nichido, Nocturne of Truth and Illusions. The entrance to the mansion was locked, but Erica had a master key, so she opened it without any trouble. She had gotten Kraus and the others to take the master keys from the servants, and at that time she had used a little sleight of hand to pilfer one of them. Well then, where shall we go first? Why yes? Let's go and hear Battler-san's answer. Grinning, Erica cut across the entrance hall and passed in front of the dining hall. Deeper, deeper. She headed for the guest room Battler had lain dead in. Battler could put off deciding whether the seals would remain whole or not until the moment right before Erica witnessed them. However, when she did witness them, the game master would have to show what had happened to them. In the witch's game they were in now, the simple act of going to check the seals around the guest room was an attack. Are you ready, Lord Battler?
Ah.
Yeah. Or as you'd say it. Come, step forward. Then show us your response. Well, now, are the seals broken? Or are they not? Has the closed room been preserved? Or hasn't it? The piece Eric held high in the air was the White Queen, which represented herself. Because of course it did. Her target was Battler's camp. She attacked. Erica dashed down the hallway with a sickening smile and clung to the guest room door like a spider. Then she closely examined the seal she had placed retroactively. I'm just picturing her flush up against the wall and like all fours, just like as physically close to it as you can, just staring at the seals. Are you sure? You are sure about this, right? Battler-san? Is this okay, Battler-san? Yeah, I can't back down here. After all, even if I'm sealed in here, there are ways of placing the letter. But now, Erica will probably enter the guest room, and then she will observe your corpse. What are you going to do? If the corpse is there, then there's no problem. The letter's prediction will be off. But it's not as though there's a penalty for that. But still, you intend to fight head-on. There are times when a man is challenged head-on, that he has to respond, no matter who's the opponent. I must not pull back here. I'll take that challenge. I can search for a way out all I want to later. I managed to do that with kids with study last time. Don't worry, I can do it. I can do it. Come on, Erica. We have confirmed that the seals to the guest room are undamaged. Since the time Lady Erica confirmed Battler's presence, this crow's room has been preserved. I'm breaking the seal. Erica destroyed the packing tape seal on the door in ecstasy. It looked as though the intellectual rapist had finally laid her true nature bare. Okay, I'm opening it. Let's have a look at Battler-san's naked scenario. Like a ruffian pushing down a frail girl, Erica mercilessly and greedily threw the door open. Then, finally, the inside of Battler's guest room was observed by Erica. Battler had to show it. Was there a corpse, or wasn't there? Come on, Battler! Here's my response! Battler grabbed the black piece from the board and raised it high. Huh, that piece. Beto had no memories of the time she had been an expert at this game. And yet, for some reason, she realized that this was a move that could not be taken back. Once this piece was moved, they couldn't move it back. Hello? Hello? いいね。面白いな。かな。Channel. Oh, cool. Channel. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. The guest room was covered by a silent darkness. It was pitch black, and nothing could be seen. However, there was a light switch just off to the side of the entrance. She flicked that. The room would be lit up, and she would see whether or not there was a corpse on the bed. Shall I turn them on? No. Wait a second, please. Battler-san, I have a proposal. Let's hear it. I think you already know. But this time around, I'm not aiming to find the culprit and achieve a standard victory. My enemy is not the lowly culprit killing the pieces, but my opponent,
あなた自身
yourself.
なのですから。
分かってる。
I know.
狙いは
So,
ロジ
you're
ッ
after
クエ
a
ラー。
logic error. Konbanwa.
今は激しく
I'm
後悔して
seriously
いる。
regretting it now. Because
お
you're
前
kind
が
of an
惨
idiot
め
about
そう
it.
なふりをしていたのにまんまと
Even
騙
though
さ
you
れ
were
て
just pretending to be
お
miserable.
かしな権利
I
を許
fell
しちま
for
っ
it
たことを
completely
な。
and gave you a ridiculous ability. Yeah,
あなたのおごりです。
that was your pride.
高い支払い
It
をす
will
るこ
cost
と
you
となり
dearly.
ます。
Damn it.
くそ。
それで
So,
そ
what
ち
is
ら
your
の提案
proposal?
とは何ですか？
With a firm voice, Beato urged her to continue. Until just a second ago, she had remained behind Battler's back, a bit flustered. However, she was steady now. She saw that Battler had let his emotions take control of him and had been lured into making a bad move. I'm not sure whether you guys are freaking out about the story or about the Japanese. Umineko no nakakoro ni ski desu ka? I think. She saw that Battler had let his emotions take control of him and had been lured into making a bad move, and realized that it was time for her to stay cool and support him. Erica's proposal couldn't be anything good, and on top of that, Erica was sly. She probably wouldn't make a proposal that would be easily rejected.
今から明かりをつ
I
け
will
ます。
now turn on the light.
ベッドの上
The
が照
top
ら
of
し
the
出さ
bed
れ
will be lit up,
手紙の予
and
告
it
通
will be
りに
decided whether or
バ
not
トラさ
Battler
んが
has
消失
disappeared
してい
as the
るか
letter
否か
predicted.
が決定されるでいればよ
If
し。
he's there, great.
何もおかし
There's
いこと
nothing
はあり
strange
ま
at
せん
all.
手紙の予
The
告が
letter's prediction
空
would
振りに
just
終
be
わるだ
wrong.
けです。もちろん
Of course,
では
the
誰が
argument
手
would
紙を
probably
置い
switch
たの
over
か
to
と
then
い
who
う
put
論
the
点に
letter there.
戦いは移るでとりあえず
But for the time
戦
being,
いの場は
the
この
location
密
of the
室を
fight
脱
would
し
move
ます。
outside this closed room.
も
And
し
if he's mission,
消失していたら
Beato already knew. She knew the move that Battler had made a second ago. Battler had already disappeared from this room. Showing off his mad skills, yep. Show off. Totemo. Can't read that one. Wait. Tas. Key desu. No, that's Daisuke desu. Yeah. Cool. Another fan. Beto already knew. She knew the move that Battler had made a second ago. Battler had already disappeared from this room. Therefore, they would need to prepare a disappearing trick other than he was actually alive and left through the door. The situation is simple. First, this room is a closed room. Also, Battler's life or death status hasn't been confirmed. In other words, him being alive wouldn't cause any problems. They had to make Erica think that Battler had vanished from this situation. He just had to escape from the room. Or if that wasn't possible, he just had to hide somehow and wait for her to leave, making her think that he disappeared.
この狭い部屋の中
Inside
で
this tiny
これ
room,
から
I
私
will
た
now
ちの
begin our
エンド
endgame,
ゲーム詰め将棋が
the
始ま
chase
ります。
after the king.
ほんの数
This
手
should
で
end in just a
決
few
着する
moves.
でしょう。あなたは
You'll be
こ
unable
の
to
部屋から
construct
バ
the
トラを
logic
脱
needed
出
to
で
let
きるロ
Battler
ジックを
escape
構
from
築
this
でき
room,
ず物語を破
and the
綻さ
tale
せ
will be
ゲ
destroyed.
ームオーバーになり
Game
ま
over.
す。それを避けるべく戦うのが
If I can
こち
keep
らの
that
仕
from
事で
happening,
す。
it's our job.
それで
What
提
is
案
this
というのは
proposal of yours?
ロジックエラーをめぐるエンドゲームでは
An endgame
より
fought
精
over a
密さ
logic
を
error
増した
to be a
戦いを
bit
す
more
べきです。
precise.
また
Once
私た
again,
ちは
we
赤
will
と青
fight
の
with the
真
red
実で
and blue
こ
truths.
れから攻防その赤き
But we
真
need
実
a
によって
referee in the same
ロジ
level
ック
as
エ
the
ラ
game
ーを起
master
こさ
to
ないか
observe and
ゲ
see
ー
that
ム
he
マス
doesn't
ター
create
と
any
同格
logic
の審
errors
判が
with the
監
red
視する
truth.
必要が出てきます。道理です。
That seems reasonable.
これは
There's
何も
nothing special
特
about
別な
this.
ことではありません。かつてのあなたが
Back
ゲ
when the
ーム
old
マ
you
スター
was
だっ
the
た
game
時も
master,
あなたの後継
you were
人で
under
あ
the
る
observation
ラ
of
ム
your
ダデルタ
guardian,
教によって
Lady Lambda
それ
Delta.
はその結果
In that way,
赤
it
き
was
真実
judged
が
that
全
all
て
red
有
truths
効で
were
あると
valid.
判断されていたのです。
俺たちの手の内を
So you're telling us to
ラ
show
ムダ
Lambda
デルタに
Delta
見
our
せろって
cards?
いうのか。
最初から見てる
Been
わよ。
watching since the beginning.
大丈夫。
It's okay.
安心
Don't
して。
worry.
ジャッジメントにつ
I'm
いては公
impartial
平
in
だ
my
から。
judgments.
それを
Can
赤
you
き
say
真
that
実
in
に
red?
語れますか？
ジャッジメント
I
の公
swear that
平
I
を
am
誓うわ。
impartial in my judgments.
前回のゲーム
I
でも
was plenty
私、十
impartial in the last game,
分公平
wasn't
だった
I?
つもりよ。
どっちに転んで
Especially for
も面
interesting
白い裁
judgments where
判
she
では
doesn't
特
care
に
which
ね
way it falls.
受けなさい。
Accept it,
Butler.
Battler.
エリカはあんたを
Erica is
詰め
going
る
to corner you.
わ。わかる？
Understand?
この部屋であんた
She
と
will
決
duel
闘
with you
して
and kill you in
殺
this
す
room.
男なら
If you're a
決
man,
闘を受けなさ
accept
い。
the duel. Sure,
いいだろう。
fine.
俺が不可能殺
We
人を
won't
見
get
せ
anywhere
る
if
た
you
びに
suspect every single
い
impossible
ちいち
murder
ロ
I
ジ
show
ック
as
エラ
being
ー
a
を
logic
疑われ
error.
たじゃん。ゲームが有効
It's
である
true
こ
that
とを
we
保
need an
証する
observer
立
to
ち会い人
guarantee
は
that the game is
確か
legitimate.
に必要だ。
じゃあ、
Then
私は
I'll
こっ
come
ち側
around to
に
your
回るわ
side.
ね。あんたの手、
Let me take a
拝
look
見
at
す
your
るわ
hand.
よ。ふむふむ。
Humu. Alright, or Japanese. Give me a sec. Harochi kara desu ka? Watashi wa Roshia Chin desu? Russian. Cool. Doko kara? Watashi wa Nihonjin desu. Demo ima wa Indonesia ni sundemasu. Cool. Somebody from Indonesia. Or Japanese in Indonesia. Cool. Welcome. Once again, this place is getting more worldly. I never would have imagined this. At most, my channel, I was picturing like some like bored dude in like Oklahoma waking up at 3 in the morning. Huh, this is interesting. I was never expecting ever Germans and Russians and Japanese and Indonesians and Brazilians. It's pretty cool. Anyway, welcome guys. Lambda Delta understood what Battler had up his sleeve, and she saw that Erica's first move had indeed gone straight through his heart. Just as Erica had guessed, Battler was alive and had slipped out of the room after Erica had examined his corpse, placed the letter by the guest house, and hid himself somewhere. When the packing tape seals had been retroactively placed on the guest room, he would have had to show that they'd been torn. However, if he had done that, it would be the same as admitting that he'd been seen through and that he'd lost. Unwilling to admit that, Battler had claimed that the seals had been maintained with false courage, and was now rushing to revise his logic. True, he could still escape for a few more moves. However, Erica was planning to corner and kill him here.
バトラ
Battler,
ー、あんたすごいカ
you're
ードで戦
fighting
っ
with
てる
some
のね。
pretty incredible cards here.
カード
Cards?
お前にはこのチェ
Does
ス
this game of chess look like a
Trump
card game to
here.
you? Well, you are talking about hands, which isn't really a chess
私
term.
にはあんたたちがポーカーで
To me,
戦ってるように
it
見え
looks
て
as
た
though
わ。
you were all playing a game of poker.
だからこっち側に回って
By
あん
moving
た
to
の持
this
つカ
side
ード
and
の
looking
す
at
べ
the
てが
cards you
わかる
hold, I understand everything.
ひどい手だわ。
That's an awful move.
まるで役な
That's a
しじゃない。
complete waste.
しかもそれを
And Eric has
あ
already
んた
seen
は
right
完
through
璧
you.
にエリカにカンパされてるわ。
あんたならど
What
う
would
す
you
るよ
do?
私は
I'm
審
the
判よ。
referee.
助
I
言
can't
は
give
し
you
ないわ。
advice.
でも感想は
But
言わ
let
せ
me
て。
tell you my impressions.
いや、いい
No, that's okay.
ゾクゾクするわ。
Chilling.
あんた、
You're trying to
こ
use
の
this
役なし
useless
の手で
move,
掛け金だけの
this
ブラフで
baseless bluff.
エリカを下ろせ
to
る
make
気がする
Erica
のね
back down.
降りないわよ。
She's
あ
not
いつ
gonna
は
back down, that girl.
あんたの方
After
だ
all,
今むしろチ
you're
ッ
the
プを
one who
払っ
should
て
be
降り
throwing
る
his
べき
chips in
わ。
and folding now.
助言
Thanks for
感謝し
the
ます
advice.
バトラさん。
Battler-san,
私も同
I
感です。
agree with her.
この部屋での
Let's
戦いを終
back
りまし
down
ょ
from
う。
the fight in this room.
勝てるカードはあ
We
りま
don't
せん。
have any winning cards.
カードチェンジで
Were you hoping
マ
to
シな
discard
役
your
に化
cards
ける
and
のを
draw
期待
something
してる
more
の？
useful?
あんた
I thought you
チ
were
ェスを
playing
してるつも
chess.
りなんでしょ。チェスの世
In
界
the
に
world of chess,
産んだのになん
if you
か持ち
rely
込
on
んでる
luck,
と
you
死
die.
ぬわよ。
By hoping to draw something useful, she meant relying on luck and betting that even if he couldn't think of a trick now, he might think of a good plan for making a closed room trick later on. If you enter into the fight without any trick in mind, you get killed. Now was the time to back down. when Erica flipped the switch. He just had to be sleeping there on that bed. That's all he needs.
ラムダ
Lambda.
何の
I don't
話
know
をし
what
てる
you're
のか知
talking
らな
about,
いけ
but
ど
you're chatting too
お
much.
しゃべり審判は
A
公平
referee
でい
needs
て
to
く
be
れなきゃ
impartial.
そうね。
True.
じゃあ頑張ってね、
Then,
バトラ
good
ー。
luck, Battler.
チェスらしい精
I'm
密な
hoping for a
戦いを
precise
期待してる
chess-like
わ。
battle.
あんたがして
You
るの
aren't
は
playing poker.
ポーカーじゃないんでしょ。
覚悟はいいですか
Are you ready,
バトラ
Battler-san?
さん。
ああ、いい
Yeah,
ぜ。
I am.
いつでも明か
Turn
り
the
をつ
lights
ける。
on, whenever you want.
これより
For the
こ
rest
の
of
部
the
屋で
fight in
の
this
戦
room,
いは
the
時
progression of
間
time
進
will
行
be
を停
stopped.
止して行いますそれにより
This way,
双
all the
方の
moves
す
of
べて
both
の手
players
は
will be made
同
at the
時
same
的であ
time,
り最初に出され
and
た
the
手
first
であ
move
ろう
made
と
will be treated
後
no
から出され
differently
た
than
手
the
であ
last
ろう
move.
と意味が分かりに
It
くい
might
と
be
思い
hard
ま
to
すが
understand,
こ
but
れ
this
はロ
rule
ジック
exists
を
for the
守るた
purpose
め
of
の
maintaining logic,
あなたを保
and
護
to
する
keep you
ルールです
protected as well.
あなたはこれから
From here on out,
へ
you
り
can
くつ
use
の
all the
限りを
twisted
尽くし
logic
て
you want to
この
rebuild
部
the
屋の
trick
ト
in
リ
this
ックの
room.
再構築を行うつまり
In other words,
戦いの
it's
途中
possible
で
that you might
良
think
い
of
ア
a
イ
good
デア
idea
が思い
partway
つく
through
可
the
能性
fight.
もあるという本来
Normally,
筋
it's
書きを
unfair
途中
to
で
revise
変
your
更す
plot
るのは
partway
アン
through
フェそれを認めるため
in
に
order for that to be
後から
acceptable.
思いついたロジッ
We
クで
need
あ
a
っても
world stopped in time,
後出しでは
where
ないとい
everything
う
happens at once,
同時的な
and
時
where
間停
logic
止の
that you
世界
think
が
of
必要な
afterwards
のよ
can counter your opponent's earlier moves.
もちろん、
Of course,
これはエリカ
Erica
にと
can
って
take
も利用
advantage
で
of
き
this
るル
rule as
ール。
well.
バトラーが変更
If
し
you
た
revise your
新しい
trick
ト
to
リ
be a
ック
new
に対
one,
応して
you can deal with that
別
in a
の
different
対応を
way.
取ることができる。
ややこしいですね。
This is pretty complicated.
シンプルな
It's
話さ。
simple.
汚職政治家の
It's
へ
like
り
a
くつ合
corrupt
戦と同
politician's
じって
war
こと
of
だろ。
twisted logic.
シャーシャーと
You
嘘を
lie
ついて
shamelessly.
それを看
When
破される
evidence is
証拠
shown
を出され
revealing
た
that lie,
それに矛
you
盾しな
retract
い
those
ように
previous lies, then shamelessly say that you just remembered it wrong.
それまでの嘘
Then change to a new
記
lie
憶
that doesn't
違い
have
で
any
したとシャーシャー
contradictions.
とって嘘と
The
それ
fight
を
goes
破る
between a
証拠
lie
と
and
それを
evidence
逃げ
exposing
る
it,
嘘と
then another lie.
そういう
Like a fight between
互い
two
の
snakes
尻尾を
spinning
飲み込
around
もう
trying
と
to
ぐ
eat
る
each
ぐる
other's
回る
tails.
2匹の蛇の
グッと
Good.
要するに
Just think of it as a
後出しの
world
へ
in
り
which
くつ
you're
がい
allowed
くら
to
でも
use
許さ
twisted
れる
logic
世界と
based
考
off
え
your
てくだ
opponent's
さい
moves as often as you want.
私もこの部
I
屋の
use that
封印の
myself
件で
concealing this
そ
rule.
れを行使しましただからあなた
So,
も
I
行
thought
使
it
で
was
き
only
るよう
fair
に
to
す
let
る
you
の
do the
が
same.
フェアなことだと思う
よくも
You have no
シ
shame,
ャ
do
ーシャ
you?
ーと言えるものです。
Absolutely not.
OK。
Okay,
では双方
then
始めな
let's
さい
have。both sides begin.
初手はエリカ
Will
からで
Erica
しょ
take the first move?
いいえ、
Will she
ベ
start
ッド
by
の掛
checking
け
the
金の
bed?
確認か
By
ら。
checking to see what he's bet?
そうね
Yeah.
ベッドのバトラ
Yeah.
の確
Let's
認から
start
だ
by checking to see if Battler's on the bed.
エリカ
Erica,
始めなさい
begin.
お任せを
Leave it to
我
me,
が主
my master.
ライト
Light on. With a click, the sound of the light switch rang out, and the bulb turned on, lighting up the room. On Battler's bed was
ドラノール
Deleanor.
赤で確認を
Confirm it with the red.
はい。
Yes,
ベッドの上には
the Shumia Battler.
いや
No,
俺の手だ
it's my move.
俺が言おう
I'll say it.
ベッドの上に
Ushiromiya
Ushiromiya
Battler
Battler.
is not on the bed.
いない
Kid?
グッとよく勝負を逃げ
Glad
ま
you
せん
didn't
で
run
した
away
ね
from the fight.
敬意を表し
I'm
ます
impressed.
レートの高い勝負っ
It's
て
a
ことは
high stakes battle, so
お
it'll
前
cost
だって
you a
負け
lot
た
if
時の
you're
支
the one
払い
who
が多い
loses.
ということだ覚悟はあるんだ
Are you prepared?
自分に有利である自信が
No
ない
one would
限
raise the
り
stakes unless they
人は
felt
レートを
confident
上
in
げ
their
たりなんか
advantage.
しません
No. Plenty of people raise the stakes hoping that it comes to their advantage later. Double or nothing. Triple or nothing.
Doranor.
Quadruple or nothing. Hey, I win. Deleanor,
記録を取りなさい
keep a record,
良いです
as you wish. At Deleanor's nod, Cornelia, who was hanging back, started taking a record. She wrote down that Battler's corpse, which should have been on the bed, was not, and also that Battler hadn't backed down from this closed room game.
バトラの初手は
As previously announced,
予告通りの
Battler's
死
first
体
move
消
is
失
to
か
have
ら
the
よ
corpse vanish.
次はエリカの手
Now
だ
it's Erica's turn.
どうぞ
Go ahead.
後ろ宮バトラが生きてい
I
て
present the
室
possibility
内に
that
どこかに
Ushimi
隠
Bat
れ
is
ている
alive
可
and
能性
hiding
の
somewhere
提
in
示
this
です
room.
これを青
I
き
proclaim
真
this
実
with the
と
blue truth.
宣言します
向こうだ。
Invalid.
それを青
If
き
you
真
want to
実
use
で
the
語
blue
りたい
truth,
なら
give me a
具
specific
体的な場所
location.
を示してもらおう。
前回のゲーム
In the
の
last game,
金蔵の書
Beto
斎
did
で
that in
ベア
Kinzo's
とド
study,
ラノールにめった打
and
ちに
Dylan
され
made
て
Swiss
た
cheese of her, right?
仕返し
Are you
って
trying to
わけ
take
かしら
revenge for that?
探し始める前に
Before I start searching,
探さずに
I
使え
have
る
one
青
blue
き
truth
真
I can
実
use
を
without a search.
発見不可能な
There
隠
is
し
a
扉
possibility of a
X の
hidden
可
door
能
X
性
that is impossible to discover.
その中に隠
He's
れて
hidden
いる
behind
た
that,
め
so it's impossible for
私
me
に
to
は
find
発
him.
見不能
ノックス第三条。
Nox's third.
秘密の通
It is
路の存
forbidden
在
for
を
hidden
禁ず。
passages to exist.
だったな。
Isn't that right?
客室内に
No hidden places that are
エリカさんに
impossible for
発見
Erika-san
不能
to
な
find
隠れ場所は
exist inside the
存
guest
在し
room.
ません。
ノックス第三
Nox's
条
third.
有効
Valid.
です
グッと
Good.
では早速
Then, let's get
捜
started
索
with
を
the
開始
search.
しましょう
Erika slowly began to walk around the room. Until the endgame had started, Erika had been energetic, jumping around impatiently like a hungry dog. However, now that it had actually begun, this was a stifling battle of wits, where each breath made her tense. Even the quiet sound of the rain was distracting.
客室内を
Now
捜
that I've
索し
searched
た
the
上
room,
で
let's
その
confirm
構
its
造を
layout.
要求
客室は
The
ベ
guest
ッド
room
ルー
is
ムとバス
divided
ルーム
into
の
two
2部屋
rooms,
構成
the
と
bedroom
なってい
and
ま
the
す
bathroom.
エリカ卿は
Lady
現在
Erika has
ベッド
currently
ルーム
searched
部
the
分の
entire
全てを
bedroom
捜
section.
索例外は1箇
There's
所
only one exception.
その一箇所は
I'll leave that
今
one
は
place
保
for
留
the
しま
time
す
being.
その結果
So,
ベ
were
ッド
there
ル
any
ーム内に異
irregularities
常は
discovered in the bedroom?
ありませんで
There
した
were none,
例外1箇所を
except for one
除
location.
きベッドルームに誰
There
の
was no one
姿
to
も
be
あり
seen
ま
in
せ
the
ん
bedroom.
例外一箇所とかな
What's
んだ。
this except for one location business?
いやらしい言い方をせずに公表
Say
し
it
ろ。
without being annoying.
伏せたカードは
There's a
伏
reason
せ
the
た
face
ま
down
まだから
card
意味
remains
がある
face
んで
down.
す必要とあれば開き
I'll
ま
turn it
す
over
ので
if it's
お
needed.
楽しみに
So look forward to it. After thoroughly checking the bedroom, Erika headed for the bathroom door. Since he wasn't in the bedroom, it was natural to think that he was in the bathroom. And, since the guest room was made up of 2 rooms, if Battler wasn't in the bathroom either, it would mean that he had managed to vanish from the closed room. Except for that single location that Erika had intentionally left unchecked.
バスルームを調べま
I'm
す
checking the bathroom.
エリカ卿
Lady Erika.
中から水
The
音
sound
が
of
聞
water
こ
could
え
be
ま
heard
す
from inside.
わずかに熱気もで
Also,
す
there's a faint heat.
へ
Oh?
えまさかシャワ
Don't
ー
tell
中
me
でし
he's
たか
taking a shower.
鍵でもかかっていま
Isn't
す
it locked or something? Is it locked or something?
いや、かかっていない。
It
開けれ
isn't
ばいい。
locked. Go ahead and open it.
では
Then, if
失
you'll
礼
allow
させ
me.
ていただきます
Slowly, Erika put her hand on the doorknob on the bathroom door. She tried to push it open, but felt a strange resistance. Of course, it wasn't the resistance of the lock. It felt as though it had an unnatural load on it. Out from the slightly open crack poured the hot air from the shower. However, it was unlocked, so there probably wasn't anyone taking the shower. After letting a dumbfounded expression rise to her face, Erika slammed into the door with her whole body, knocking it open. Huh?
何
What? As soon as she opened the door, a hot blast poured out on her. Erika froze, unable to understand what had happened. After falling backwards on her butt, she realized that boiling hot shower water was spewing out at her, and hard.
何ですかこれ
What is this?
ふざけた
What a crazy...
いたずらです
They use that word a lot in this game to describe what's happening. Cursing, Erika wrapped the blanket from the bed around herself and tried to enter the bathroom once more. This time, she was able to figure out what was going on. It was quite an elaborate prank. A wire fixed a shower nozzle in place so that it pointed at the entrance. The pressure and heat were turned up to the max, so that anyone who went through the door would be met with a wave of hot water. The pressure was very strong, which probably accounted for the weight she had felt when trying to push the door open. She tried to make the nozzle point in another direction, but not only was it fixed in place by the wire, it was also fixed in a place high enough that Erica couldn't reach it with her height. She tried to turn off the pressure, but that was also held in place by wires. She couldn't manage anything with her bare hands. She would have to get a tool that could cut the wires. However, when she looked into the bathtub, which was overflowing with very hot water, she saw a bundle of wires and some nippers that had been used to cut them lying at the bottom. If she used that, she could turn off the pressure.
ふざけた真似を
Nakukonani in much. Yeah, that's, I know a bit of Japanese. I can't read most kanji, but I can at least read the hiragana, the simple letters. Damn you. The blanket she'd used to protect herself in the shower was getting more and more drenched with boiling hot water. At this rate, she'd get burns even through the blanket. She needed to turn the water off quickly. Oh, alright, I got a notice on Mixer. Alright. Might as well. Right next to the bathtub, she saw a hanging long-handled body brush. Perfect. Erica used that to skillfully scrape the nippers up off the bottom of the tub. Fortunately, it was a shallow Western-style bathtub. If it had been a deep Japanese one, it would probably have burned her badly. Making sure not to touch the hot metal parts, she carefully took the nippers and cut the wires around the faucet. Take that, and that. She finally managed to turn the hot water faucet, and the heat from the hot water storm died down. For a while, Erica was forced to cool her almost burnt arms under running water.
とんだ災難です。
What a calamity.
あんたも一
Would
風
you
呂
like a
どう
bath?
ですこのボデ
I
ィ
can
ブラ
wash
シ
your
で
face
顔
with
面
this
を洗ってあ
brush.
げますよ
お気持ちだけ
I
で結
appreciate
構
the
です。
sentiment, but no.
あっそ
No, that's a
そりゃ
shame.
残念です
Erica had finally regained enough of her composure to be abusive. She turned off the faucet completely, and silent returned to the bathroom. After that, all that remained was Erica's heavy breathing. Oh, you're in the translation group? Cool. That might be interesting. We are looking forward to the up-and-coming 8th, 9th chapter, whatever the hell it is. I'll read that if it comes out. Maybe. She turned on the fan to get rid of the hot steam. She had to leave the bathroom until that was finished. It was pleasant, like stepping into an air-conditioned room on a hot summer's day.
ふざけた罠ですね
That was a ridiculous trap.
しかしこれは
However,
剣士陣
that
がなか
wasn't
った
here
も
at
の
the
です
time I examined Battler's corpse.
よってこの
Therefore,
罠の
the
出
appearance
現
of
に
this
より
trap proves that
後ろ宮バトラが生きてい
Battler
た
was
ことが
alive.
証明されましたねまあ
Well,
もっとより
I never
死ん
thought
でい
he
ると
was
も
dead
思ってい
anyway.
ませんでしたが
バレているカード
So
を
he
堂
decided
々
to
と
openly
晒
show
し
a
てきた
card
と
that had
いう
already
だ
been
けの
exposed.
話です。
では
Let's
バス
check
ル
the
ームの
inside
中を
of the
確認し
bathroom.
ましょうバトラの
Was
姿は
Battler seen?
いいえ、
No.
バスルームに
No
誰
one
の
was seen
姿
in the
も
bathroom.
ありません。
グッ
Good.
これで私例
Now
外
we
一箇
confirm
所を
that.
除いて
Except for one
客室に
location,
バトラが
Battler
存
does
在
not
しないこ
exist
とを
anywhere
確認
inside
し
the
ました
guest room.
いい加減にしてください
Was that a rest?
その例外
Just
一
where
箇
is
所
this
とは
one exception?
一体どこですか
棺桶で
A
す
coffin.
後ろ宮バトラ
Ushmiya
のね
Battler's coffin, that is.
灰は灰に
Ashes to
死体は
ashes,
棺
the
桶
dead
に
to their
で
coffins.
す。
Yes.
この部屋で
You
詰める
planned
ん
to
だろ
trap me in this room, right?
いいぜ
Okay,
キナ
let's have it. A silence that was complete except for the rain was suddenly filled with the smell of gunpowder. though it was extremely quiet. The room was filled with tension, as though you'd be sliced in half if you relaxed for an instant. A cloud of gold butterflies gathered on the room's round table and turned into a witch's chessboard. It was finally time for her attack. Sumimasen.
青き真実。
私の方日本語はとっても小さいです。もう一世くらい。Yeah, I can't see that here. She studied for about a year, I guess. Blue truth.
あなたはこの部屋から
You
消
did not
失など
vanish
してい
from
ま
this
せん。
room.
姿を
You
隠
just
し
hid yourself to
あ
make
た
it
かも
seem
密
as though you
室から消え去
disappeared
ったか
from
の
the
ように
closed
錯
room.
覚させただ。隠れた場所は
The place you are hiding
私がまだ
is
調
the
べて
one
いない
exception that I
例
haven't
外
investigated
1箇
yet.
所。
As Erica lightly raised her right hand, a single gold butterfly appeared from the darkness behind her. Flitted between the index finger and middle finger of Erica's raised hand and became a white piece. Then, she lifted it high into the air.
その
This is the
例
one
外
exception.
入り口は
The
広い
walk-in
ウォ
closet
ー
next
ク
to
イ
the
ンクローゼ
entrance.
ット。
Bang. Like a falling white lightning, the white piece hit the board, landing by a weak spot in Battler's formation.
そう
Yes,
ここ
it
で
is
す
here. The crash, the door of the closet, which was just off to the side of the guest room's entrance, was impaled by a spear that represented the blue truth. Dillinor had spun around and thrown it. The door was completely pierced, and the spear stuck so deeply that if a human had been hiding in it, it would have pierced their chest as well. Its still quivering handle was a testament to the force with which it had been thrown.
ここしか隠
There
れ
are
る
no
場所はあり
places in
ま
which
せん
to hide other than this.
あなたは
You
今
are now
この
hiding
中
in
に
here.
隠れているのです。
どうですバトラさん。
Ada was busy, apparently. Cowering in the closet of Battler, trying to dodge a spear. What do you say, Battler-san?
心臓のど真ん
Have you
中
been
を
struck
一
through
突
the
きで
chest?
スマザ
For a
ード
literal
メイト
smothered
って
mate?
ところですか。
バトラさん、
Battler-san,
次は
it's our move
こ
now.
ちらの番です。
あ
Yeah,
あ、やはり
I thought it'd be like
な
that,
そうだろうと思
Erica.
ったわざと一箇所
You
を残し
intentionally left one spot
相手を
open
棺
so
桶
you
に
could
追い
stuff
詰
into
め
that coffin.
前回のゲームで
I don't
金
think
蔵を
so.
夏日の部屋に追い込んだのと同
It's
じ
the
手
same move that trapped Kinzo in Natsuhi's room.
その手は
I saw it
読ん
coming.
でいたぜ。
おや、
Oh,
そうでしたか。では
then let's see
王
your
子をお
response.
願いします。しかし
Then let me make a
予
prediction.
告します。
してみろ。
Let's hear it.
あと2手で
I'll checkmate you
あなた
two
をチェ
moves
ック
from
メイ
now.
トします。これが
That's my
予告
prediction.
です。
なら、
Then I'll
俺
make
も
the
同じ
same
予告だ。
prediction.
俺もまたお前
I'll
を
checkmate you
あ
in
と
two
2手で
moves.
チェックメイトする。
面白いじゃない。
Sounds interesting.
矛盾した予
These
告だ。
predictions contradict each other.
嘘つきはど
Who will
っち
be the
になる
liar?
のか
I
しら。
wonder. The air burst and sparked. The silence would hurt one's skin.
ではど
Then
うぞ
go.
そちらの手
It is
番
your
で
turn.
す。
無駄です。
It's useless.
あなたたちの
Your
顔を
lowly
手ごとき
coffin
で
won't be able to trap
バトラさんを
Battler's
捕ら
arm.
えることなどできません。
これが
Here's my response.
俺の王子だ。
Slowly, Battler moved his hand over the chessboard. A gold butterfly that appeared from the darkness rested on Battler's fingers and became a black piece. That black piece was the king, which represented Battler.
これが
This is my
お前の
response
言う。バトラはクロー
to
ゼット
your
に隠れて
battlers
いる
hiding
の
in the closet.
くらえ。
Take this.
後ろ宮バトラ
Ushimiya Battler does not exist within the guest room.
クローゼットも
There are no exceptions,
一切の
including
例
the
外なく
closet. Like a black bolt of lightning this time, Battler slammed his piece down on the white piece of Erica's that had cut deep behind his lines, crushing hers. It scattered like a golden spray and melted beautifully into the darkness as a faint cloud of gold sparks drifted about.
そう
These
か
people are precocious.
まずクローゼットに隠れ
I see. So he hid in the closet at
エリ
first,
カがシャワー
and
に
then
気を
slipped
取ら
out
れ
of
て
the
る
room
間
while
に
Erica was occupied
こ
by
っ
the
そり部
shower.
屋を抜け出した前回のゲー
It's
ム
the
で
same technique he
金
used
蔵を
to
書
let
斎
Kinzo
から
escape
逃
from
した
study
手
in
法
the
と
last
同
game.
じだ観測者の
Distract
観
the
測をする
observation of the
し
observer
やむ
and
ん
disappear into the darkness.
グッと
Get
そうで
Of
しょう
course.
ね
Yes,
え
of
そうで
course.
しょうね読んでいますよ
I'd already
そ
foreseen
の
that
一手
move.
はね
Forgery of Purple Logic was finished today? So that's the next one? I guess that'll be an Umineko +1, I guess. Next was Erica's turn. A gold butterfly popped into existence in front of Erica, and she grabbed it right out of the air. She then lifted the hand into the air and raised the white piece high.
遡
Let
り
me
手を
announce a
宣言しま
retroactive
す
move. You know.
この部屋に封印を破って
We
入っ
disagreed on
た
that.
一番最
This
初の
occurs
時点
back
で
in the
す
very beginning, right after I broke the seals and entered this room.
あの時
At that
私
time,
は
I immediately
すぐ
closed
に
the
扉
door,
を閉め
reset the chain,
チェーン
and
ロッ
sealed
クを
this
かけ
room.
直しこの部屋を封
異議申請
Objection.
事件発覚
Go
時
to sever the chain back when the crime was first discovered.
チェーンロック
Since
が
the
機能
chain
しな
lock
い以
is
上
not functioning, it is impossible to use it to create the seal.
異議却下
Objection overruled.
エリカはチェ
Erica
ーンロックを
repaired the
修
chain
復
lock.
したね
See?
不可能です
Possible.
真鍮製
How
の
could
チ
she
ェー
have
ンを
repaired a brass
どうや
chain?
って修復するというんですか
修復は可
It
能
was
よ
possible.
ベアとも忘
Have
れ
you
たの
forgotten, Beato?
ガムテープの
The
封
packing
印
tape seals.
エリカは
Erica
ね
used that packing
その
tape
ガ
to
ム
join
テ
the
ー
two
プ
cut
で
ends of the chain
切
together,
断されたチェ
sealing
ーンの
them.
切断つまり
In other words,
封印
the
によって
chain was
チェーンを
repaired by
修
the
復
packing
し
tape, and this room
それ
once
によって
again
この
became
部
a
屋を
closed room,
内
locked
側
from
か
the
ら再
inside.
び密室にしたってわけね
異議申請
Alright. You got a name for that? Last page. Give me a sec. Umineko, last page. And read one certain manga chapter of the original Umineko manga. Which chapter? There's a lot of chapters in this story, I imagine. Objection!
エリカさんはすでに
Erica-san has already
ガム
used
テ
up
ー
her
プの
packing
封印
tape
を使
seals,
い切ってる
hasn't
はず
she?
ですもう封
She
印はで
shouldn't
き
be
ない
able to
は
use
ず
them anymore.
異議却下
Objection overruled.
ガムテープの使用
The
制
use
限は
of the
回
packing
数
tape
じ
was
ゃなかった
limited
で
by
し
the
ょ
number of strips, right?
部屋の
It
数
was by the number of rooms.
3部屋ま
The
でとい
only
う
restriction
場
was
所の制
limited
限
only
だ
to
け
3 rooms.
エリカはその一部屋
Erica
に
chose this
この
guest room
客
to
室
be
を
one
選ん
of
でる
those
わ
rooms.
だからエリ
So,
カは
Erica has the right
この
to
部
seal
屋
as
に何
many
箇所で
places
も
as many
そ
times
して
as she
何度
wants
でも
within this
封印
room.
する権利を持つ
See, chapter, volume 8. Alright, I'll look into it. Maybe we'll do it online here. The volume. It's... So, read the 8th one, and then read the 8th one, and then read the 9th one, I guess. That's right.
俺がそう
I gave her permission to do that.
これが
This is
あ
the
なたの
cost
お
of
ごり
your
の代
pride.
償情けとは
Sympathy is the
登る
evil
者が
liquor.
最も
Is
好
the
む悪しき意志
Sympathy is the evil liquor that the proud are most fond of.
というわけで
So,
遡
with
りガ
this
ムテープの
retroactive
封印に
move,
よ
I
って
proclaim that the
チェー
chain
ンロッ
lock
クが
has been
修復さ
repaired
れ
by
て
the packing tape
元の
scale
機能に
and has
復帰してい
regained
る
its
ことを
original
宣言しま
functionality.
す
This is basically boiling down to a fight of, oh yeah, my dad can beat up your dad. Oh yeah, well my dad can beat up your dad. Oh yeah, well my dad has superpowers. Oh yeah, well my dad has anti-superpower abilities. Oh yeah, well my dad has anti-superpower abilities, etc. Until one of them gives up.
そしてそれによ
And
り
thanks to that,
私は
I
入
locked
室
the
と
room
同時に
upon
施錠を
entering
行
and
い
made this guest room
こ
a
の
closed
客
room
室を
from the
内側
inside
より
once more.
再び密室としました
The white piece Erica had called a lock represented the seal caused by the chain lock. This move would draw out Battler's king and drag it to the guillotine.
死ね
Die,
バトラ
Battler. The piece for the chain lock was slammed down right at Battler's king's throat.
副将要求
Repeat it.
今
The lock
こ
created
の
by
チ
the
ェーン
chain
ロ
is
ックは
currently
施
intact.
錠を維持している
Battler's face contorted. Beato, who was watching from behind, grimaced even more. This move was very pink. Yeah, no, I'm 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. If his logic had him hiding in the closet until Erica left, using the uproar in the bathroom to escape, then the chain lock must have been undone. In other words, he couldn't respond to her demand. I'm going to read them in order. I'm just going to read the 8th one twice, apparently. If he didn't respond, Erica would use the blue truth in her next move. She would probably say, "You hid in the closet and used the disturbance from the bathroom to escape. Since you then couldn't set the chain lock from the outside, you left it undone." And she would be right. This was checkmate. As Erica had predicted, she would strike the finishing blow on the second move. And on top of that, she would probably use the disappearing battler to solve most of the crimes that were to follow. Losing the battle in this closed room would seal a major deciding piece from battler. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. But what if he responded to her demand? What if he could say the lock created by the chain is still intact? That would be fatal to Erica. It had already been shown with the red truth that this guest room could only be made into a closed room from the inside. So, this hopeless closed room would instead become Erica's coffin. With a riddle of that magnitude, Erica probably wouldn't solve the mystery of Battler's disappearance before the end. Each unsolved riddle gives an advantage to which side. Battler wanted to respond to this demand if at all possible. However, if he responded, if he answered by saying that the chain was still set, he would have to abandon the logic saying that he had escaped while Erica wasn't looking. Once he escaped, he wouldn't be able to set the chain lock again. It would make a riddle to corner Erica, but he would have to construct a different escape method. Even a move such as him leaving the closet during the scene in the bathroom and hiding in another place, say, under the bed, wouldn't work because he had proclaimed that Battler does not exist within the guest room. If he could construct logic that allowed him to escape from here while preserving the chain lock's position, then Erica would be the one facing a fatal blow. However, if he didn't have that logic, if he failed, it would be a logic error, the worst and lowest forbidden move that would instantly end the game in his defeat. He would have no way to recover. For Battler, deciding how to respond to this demand was a very advanced and difficult decision. Either way, Erica would probably corner him. In that case, my choice is obvious. Battler, this guest room has already been restricted in many ways by the red truth due to its closed room nature. How do you plan on escaping from this? Trust but verify. If only I could do something about the chain lock. If only. I thought of a potential solution. Forgot the red truth already. That works. If he could somehow get around the chain lock, he could force Erica to deal with the terrible closed room. It would probably end up as a finishing blow to her. But in order to do that, he would need to make a trick for escaping the closed room that existed before Erica came back, which was now a closed room sealed by the chain that Erica set right after entering the room. And on top of that, he had to make sure that the chain that could only be set from the inside remained in place. If he could do that, if he could find a way, then it would end here. But I still can't think of that trick. Right now, Erica is demanding to know if the chain lock is still set or not. I need to decide whether I'll take that challenge or back down, and I need to do it right now. If I can find a certain win trick, then this is the end. But if I don't have that trick, I should just acknowledge that I slipped out of the closet, undid the chain, and escaped, backing out of the fight. If I say the chain was set without a trick up my sleeve, then it's impossible for me to escape. In other words, it's a logic error. Even if we lose the fight in this room, there will still be chances left to us. We've still only started the second day, haven't we? We have plenty of time to reconstruct an impossible murder. No, that's no good. If I acknowledge that I've escaped from this room now, it's the same as acknowledging that I'm the culprit. If I back down from the fight in this room, it's the same as accepting my defeat in this game. Battler's point was a valid one, since all the other humans were still locked in the guest house. Then if Battler alone was alive and free to move, Erica would probably base her explanation for all the following impossible crimes in the blue truth that Battler was the perpetrator. If they wanted to forcefully turn that around, they would have to rewrite their tricks and logic so someone other than Battler would be set up as the perpetrator. If they fix up one flaw, it would give rise to new flaws, which might eventually pile up and kill Battler. Even running away would mean tightening the noose around his own throat. The first truth, that Battler is the culprit, has already been hit upon, and yet I have to struggle desperately to get out of this. I'm on edge. I've definitely been cornered in a dangerous spot. However, if I can just change my position, everything might turn around at once. If I can just make this chain my weapon, I can kill Erica.
まさか
Wait,
復讐
are
要
you
求に応
actually
じる
going to
つもりです
respond
か
to her demand? Is there any way to escape without undoing the chain lock?
ないです
There isn't.
答えたら最後
If you respond,
ロジ
you'll
ック
lose
エラー
instantly
で
from the
直
logic
ちに
error at
敗
the
北
end.
ですどちらを選べば
It's
いい
clear
かは
what
明
choice you
白
have to make.
そう
Yeah,
だ明白
it's
な
clear.
どちらの手を
No
選ぶ
matter what move we choose,
エリカの
we'll
望
turn
む
for the
最悪の
worst,
展
just
開
as
となる
Erica wants.
どっちを
If
選
it's
ぶ
horrible either way,
勝った時
I'd like to choose the move that has
一
the
番
biggest
見返
reward
りの
if
で
we
かい
win.
握手を選ぶべきだ
あんた
You're
脱
going to
出の
call?
ロジックもないの
Even though
に
you have no logic
切
for
り札も
escaping
ない
and
の
no
に
trump
レースを
cards?
受ける復讐要求を
You
受け
think
て
you can accept
勝
your
負する
man
気
to
なの
win?
俺の手札は役なしか
Poker
もしれ
chess magic detective land. My cards might be useless. However, with
ない
just
一
one
枚
more
入れ
card,
ば
they might become a
ストレ
straight,
ートにもフラッシュ
a
にも
flush.
ロイヤルスト
or
レー
even
ト
a
にだ
royal
って化ける
flush.
降りても乗って
If
も
hell
白
waits for
く
me
な
after both options,
勝った時
I'll take the one that'll finish
奴
her
の
off
息
if
の
I
根を止め
win.
られる方を選ぶ
狂気の一手
That's an insane
が
move.
狂人は時に
Sometimes
自
madmen
ら
leap
死
into
地に
the
飛び込むか
path of death,
奇跡を起こ
and
す
so miracles occur. That is how
不
Kinko
可能
works.
です
It's impossible.
どうやって
How could you escape this closed
Chain
room
を
without
破らず
removing
に
the chain?
この密室を脱出
英雄と異常者
There's
の
only
差は
one
たった
difference
一
between
つ
heroes and madmen.
勝ったか負
It's
けた
whether they win or lose.
あんたの大勝負
I'll be looking forward
拝見させ
to
て
your
もらう
big
わ
victory. If I can finish things with this move, and as I predicted, I can kill Erica on my second move. I still can't think of a trick for escaping this closed room. However, there has to be something. There has to. Once I think of that, I can make the magic illusion of me changing into a butterfly and slipping out of the crack in the door like smoke. If I have even a drop of that mad magician's blood in my veins, please let that honor give me just a fragment of that miracle right now. Trust in the heart of the cards.
さあバトラさん
Battler,
あなたが私をチェック
let's
メイ
have
ト
that
すると
second
予
move
告
that
し
you
た
predicted you
2手目を
checkmate
お
me
願
on.
いします
エリカ教の
Please
復
give
讐
an
要
answer
求
to Lady
にお
Erica's
答え
demand.
応ずるか
Will you respond,
拒否す
or
るか
will you refuse? Slowly, Battler's hand searched out to keep his king piece on the board. He lifted it up, and slowly held it aloft, tracing a large circle in the sky. Would Battler respond, or wouldn't he? Would the lock caused by the chain be preserved, or wouldn't it? Would Battler's king crush the piece of the chain lock that stood right in front of it, or would it slip away like a ghost and escape?
これが
This is
俺の
my response,
予告通り
as predicted.
この2
On
手
the
目で
second turn of
お
mine,
前は終わりだ
you're through.
行くぞ
Here he comes.
人は
Fudo. Battler's king had become a black lightning bolt that crashed down onto the board. Where had it gone? On top of the piece of the chain lock? Or past that
復
piece?
讐要求に
I will repeat
応
it.
じるチェーンロックは
The
正常
lock
を
caused by the chain was
Easy.
intact. Battler's king had left the chain lock piece in its place and had slipped past it.
そうですね
Yeah. It sure
こ
would
こ
be
で
cool if you could
チ
say
ェーンロッ
that
ク
the
は維持し
chain
た
lock
ま
was
ま
still
だと言え
set,
たら
wouldn't it?
そりゃあ
Don't you think that'd be cool?
でもね
But do you know what they call
か
a
っこ
fool?
なんていう
Who's
か
full of
知って
himself
ます
and jumps into the path of death just because it's cool?
さ
No clue.
後ろ見
You
は
sure
バト
mean
ル
backward.
って言うんです
What
よ
we call them.
ロジックエラー通りを信
I
じ
filed for a motion for a logic error.
あんたの今
That
の
red
赤
truth
き
of yours
真
just
実
now
は
has cut
今
off your own logic.
中立審
Please
判
have the
員は
impartial
直
referee
ち
make
に
her
ジャッジ
judgment
メントを行う
immediately.
ダイラムダデル
Great Lady
ダ
Lambda Delta.
道義順
Motion received.
ラムダデル
Lambda Delta.
ロジックは
Does
通
this
り
make logical sense?
検証
Your inspection, please.
道義樹里
Motion received.
バトラ
Battler,
見せなさい
show me.
あんたのカ
Let
ー
me
ド
see your cards.
バト
That's
ル
her son.
ストイヤル
This is
ストレ
royal
ート
flesh, right?
逆なしだったら
She's got
ご
nothing.
めんなさいじゃ済
He
まない
won't get out of this, he's just sorry. Okay. Well, he did undo.
あ
Maybe.
ごめんなさいで済ます
I have no intention of apologizing.
ロジックエラーになったら
If it's logic
ゲーム
error,
版がぶっ
the
飛ぶ
game
のよ
board will be blown
あ
away.
んたは
You've inherited this game board from
受け継い
Beato.
だのはあんたの大
It's
切
the
な
one
デ
thing
ー
you
タ
have
を受け取
left
った唯一の
of that
形見なんで
precious
しょ
Beato.
だからあんたは
So you must not
断
allow
じ
for
て
a
ロジ
logic
ックエ
error.
ラーを受け入れない
A logic error only becomes established when the witch admits to it. As long as they can keep thinking of new logic to escape with, they will not die, cannot die. However, that would be like living in an endless living hell of the mind.
あんたは
Even if you
永
manage
遠
to
に
crawl
思
around
考の
forever,
闇に落ちて
after
這
falling
いず
onto
り
the
回って
darkness
も
of thought,
ロジックエラー
you'll
を拒
just
否
be
し
eternally trapped in
こ
a
の
hell
見
where
捨
you
てられる
constantly think
方法
of
を永
ways
遠
to
に
escape
考え
that
続
closed
ける
room,
地獄に閉じ
while
込められ
refusing
る
to
のよ
accept your logic error.
いいのね
Are you
い
sure?
いのね
Are you sure?
それって
This is nearly as bad as the depths of oblivion.
Got
it?
10階建てビ
It's
ル
like
の
the
屋上
difference
と
between falling from the
100
roof of
階
a
建て
10-story
ビルの
building
屋上から
falling
飛び降
from
り
the
る
roof
程
of
度
a
のことじゃ
100-story
ないけ
building.
ど
Won't be about the same event. Lambda.
バトルはもう手を
Battler
差
has
し
already
置い
finished making his move.
一度刺した手を
Players
や
can't
り直
take
す
back a move once it's made. But they can retroactively fix things.
あなたは
Act as an
公正
impartial
を
judge.
誓った審判
Carry out our motion.
バトラの密
And
室
see
脱
whether or
出
not
ロジッ
Battler's
クが
escape
有
from
効
the
か
closed room is logical.
ロジックエラー
And
で
whether
ない
there
か
has
ど
been
う
a
かを
logic
判
error
断し
or
な
not.
考古学
Be
者の
slow,
ようにゆっくり
accurate,
と
and
緻
meticulous
密
like in our
慎
theology.
重にそして
And
アイスク
be
リー
as
ム
fast
屋
as the
が
guy at the
甘
ice
く
cream
て
shop
香ばしい
of
バ
course,
ニラ醤油
and
味のアイ
skillfully scoops out that
ビシ
sweet,
ャで
fragrant
力
vanilla soy sauce
手
ice
際よ
cream.
くかき取るように素早くね
ええ
Yes,
分
I
か
heard
ってる
that.
わバトラー
Battler,
それでは拝見するわ
Battler
バト
son.
ラさん
であ
Battler,
俺
do you
が
think I'll lose?
思いたくありません
I don't want to think
あ
that.
なたは
After fighting with
か
the
つ
old
て
me
の
many
私と何
times,
度も私が望
you
んでやま
finally
な
reached
か
the
った
miracle
奇
that I
跡
so want you to
にた
find.
どり着いた方です
So, I'd like to believe that you'll win for a miracle once again.
ベアトリーチェ
This woman called Beatrice.
そういう
The whole
理
time,
性と狂気の義理ずっと
she
戦って
fought
きた
on the same border between reason and madness.
俺に対する
She fought with a mixture of sadness,
悲
anger,
しみと
and several other emotions for me that can't be described with words.
そして
And in the very last
一
game,
番最後の最後の最
the
後で
very last moment,
見事
she
勝ち
managed
取ったんだ
to seize victory. That might have been the purpose of the card Beato had been gripping as she fell. Beato passed away without realizing that she had won. In the final game, the true victor was Beato.
そのベアト
That
俺は
Beato
このゲーム版
entrusted
を
me
預
with
かっ
this
た
game board,
だから俺は
so I'll win.
勝つ
So I need at least
お
you
前だけは
to
信
believe
じ
in
ろ
me.
ベアトリーチェ
Beatrice,
信じて
if I believe
奇跡
that
が
a
起こ
miracle
るなら
occurs, please,
頼む
信じます
I do believe in you.
バトラさん
Battler's son.
うぜ
This is pissing me off.
とっとと確認
Please,
してくだ
just
さい
check it
ラム
already,
ダデルタ
Lady Lambda Delta.
ないんです
There's
よ
no valid
ロジックなん
logic.
この密室か
There
ら出
doesn't
る
exist
方法
any
なん
way
て
to get out of this closed room.
存在し潔足
You
で
were
した
a
よ
Rieger,
バトラさん
Battler's son.
そりゃ
If you
これ
could
で
win with
勝てれ
this,
ばか
that'd
っ
be
こいい
cool.
チェーンが
If
破
you
ら
just
れてない
vanished,
のに
even though the
姿
chain
を
is
消
still
せたな
set,
んて
that
最
would
高
be so
か
awesome,
っ
so
こいい
cool, so mysterious. Oh, please. Well, you can.
できるわけ
Well, you
ね
can
え
do
んですよこれができ
If
た
you
ら
could do
まさ
that,
に
you
魔
really
女
would be a witch.
この密室
If
か
you
ら
could
姿を
vanish your
煙
way
の
out
よ
of
うに
this
消せ
closed
たら
room like a puff of
認める
smoke,
しか
I'd
な
have
い
to acknowledge it.
魔女の仕
I'd
業
be
だ
the, it'd be the work of a witch.
エリカ卿を静
Why,
かに
Lady Erica.
ラムダデルタ卿
Lady
に
Lambda
検証
Delta
中
is conducting her inspection. You know, if they actually had a Umineko card game, chess game, poker game, that would be one hell of a thing to play.
通って行って
Pass through. One move.
戻って
Go back
詰めて
and corner. With sweat gathering on her forehead, Lambda Delta inspected the movements of the pieces from Battler's side. She was as accurate and meticulous as an archaeologist, just as Burncastle had told her to be. After gulping stiffly, Lambda looked several times between the formation of the pieces on the board and Battler's face, which remained tense but steady.
ラムダ
Lambda,
検証を
I have
終了したわ
finished my inspection.
ロジックが
There's no way the
通
logic
るわけ
works.
がない
神様
Please, God.
どうか
エリカ
Erica,
なんです
what?
とても
I'm so sorry.
残念だ
どっちの意味にも
How
取
am
れ
I
るよう
supposed
な
to take that?
こと
楽しかったぜ
It was fun.
これで
Now this is the end.
終わりだ
だから
I
どっ
told you.
ちの意味だっ
Which
て言
way
っ
am I
てんだ
supposed to take that?
静粛に
Silence.
バトラの手
I
の
have
検証
finished
を終了
inspecting
したわ
Battler's move.
判定は
My decision is that they had to have had it.
有効
It's valid.
有
Valid?
嘘よ
You're lying.
判定は有
I
効よ
judge it to be valid.
赤き真実
He's
すべて
presented
に
logic
抵触
that
しない
doesn't violate
ロジック
any
の
of the red
提出を
truths,
受け
and I
その
finished
検証
checking
を終え
it.
たわ魔女側プ
The
レイヤー
move
の
by the
手
player on the witch
およ
side,
び
along
最
with
後
that
の
final
復
red
唱要
truth
求
he
に応じ
repeated,
た赤き真
are
実は
valid.
言うバトラ
Battler.
あんたは初
For
め
the
て
first time,
すごい
I've
と思
got
っ
to
た
say, I think you're incredible. See?
お前のゲームはな
In your game, a miracle will always
Indeed.
occur if you believe.
奇跡が必ず
Battler's son. I'm sorry. If only I believed more strongly,
強く信じてい
you
れば
wouldn't have been cornered like this.
こんなところまで追い詰められることは
Beato flew into Battler's chest, sobbing. Erica staggered backwards, shaking her head back and forth dizzily. And Burncastle? Her face was like an expressionless mask. Then slowly, it became a smile. And for some reason, it seemed the sign of some horrible emotion.
見事
Well
Yes.
done.
よもや
To think
チェーンを破ら
that
ず
you
に
escaped the room
この密室を
without
抜け出
removing
す
the
と
chain.
は感服です
Simply splendid. With her small hands, Dylanor slowly started to applaud quietly. She was followed by Gertrude and then Cornelia, and then by Beato and Lambda Delta too. Applause filled the room.
お兄ちゃん
Anuchan,
どうやって
how did you...
なるほ
I see.
ど思考が密室にとらわれたものには
A
見
move
え
that
ぬ結
cannot be
果
seen by one whose thoughts are trapped within the closed room. If it's what I think it is, it's
Ariana.
really stupid and
Ariana.
really simple.
ない
Impossible. Impossible. As Lambda Delta watched Erica, who was breathing hard, shocked and dizzy with a despair she couldn't accept. She had to take her head off to the swiftness of Battler's heart and intellect, and to the power of this miracle. Incredible, Ushiromiya Battler. It's my complete loss for thinking that your power and Beatos would cancel each other out and bring an eternal draw. And Byrne, who thought everything would move according to her plan, even though she already knew your true strength, has also suffered a complete loss. Byrne is the witch who waits for miracles. You are the witch who summons miracles. You are not Byrne's piece. Just now, without a doubt, you have surpassed Byrne. You really did, in this one moment, think up a trick by which to escape from this closed room. As Erica had predicted, Battler had been hiding in the closet. Then, during the disturbance in the bathroom, it snuck out of the door. Erica had guessed this much. That's why they retroactively set this chain lock and sealed it to prevent Battler from doing this very thing. The chain lock cannot be reset from the outside, so it should have been impossible to escape from the closed room. However, Battler didn't let his thinking get trapped inside this closed room, and so he broke through. It doesn't matter who, but let's explain it with his mother, Kiri's piece. Just like Battler, the life or death status of the rest of the first Twilight victims has not been specified by the Red Truth. In other words, just like Battler, the others, and Kiri specifically, can still move, and their closed rooms were not sealed, so they can go out as they please. Kiri had come to save him. Kiri followed behind Erica and waited in the hallway while the latter entered the guest room and sealed the door from the inside. Then, after Battler undid the chain lock and escaped, she entered the room in his place. Then, Kiri reset the chain lock from the inside and hid in the closet, just like Battler had done. I got, close. I had forgotten the exact wording of the Red Truth. My theory was Battler simply stepped outside the Red Truth. Battler is no longer in the room. And Erica says, but the chain lock is set. Battler then re-entered the room and set the chain door. That would technically confirm it, and my theory was close. I did not think of Kiri saving him. I thought Battler just went bloop, bloop to avoid the Red Truth. Then Kiri reset the chain lock from the inside and hid in the closet, just like Battler had done. Yes, Battler truly isn't inside the guest room right now. However, that doesn't mean that no one else is inside it. Kiri took Battler's place in the closet, the one exception that Erica had left, and is still there. Kiri saved Battler.
後ろ宮キリエには
Ushirimiya Kiri cannot
バトラーを救え
save
ない
Battler. Huh?
どういうこ
What do
と
you
よ
mean?
後ろ宮キ
Ushirimiya
リエ
Kiri
には
cannot save
バト
Battler.
ラーを救えます
どう
Why
してよ
not?
キリエにバトラーを助けら
There's
れ
no
ない
red
赤き
saying
真
that
実は
Kiri
ない
can't
わ
save
と
Battler.
いうかあんた
Wait a second.
どうして赤き真実が使えるの
有効よ
Valid.
ドラノールの赤
Dolanor's
き
red
真
truth
実
is
は
valid.
有効よ
石剣
Requesting
バッ
permission
ト
to
ペパ先
unsheath
生
red key.
許可します
Permission granted.
やってくださ
Please
い
do it,
ドラノ
Eleanor.
どうして
How?
どうして
How can you
あん
give
たが
that
それを
permission?
許可できるのよ
有効よ
It's valid.
公正なジャッ
As
ジ
a
メント
result
と
of an
して
impartial judgment, I
私がこ
guarantee
の
this
赤
red
き真
truth.
実を保証する
理由の開示な
Without
く
telling us your reason?
すぐに開
We'll
示す
tell
る
you
わ
that soon.
すぐにね
Very soon.
キリエの死亡
Battler
宣言
hasn't
は
proclaimed
バ
Kiri
トラ
dead
は
with the
赤
red
き真
truth
実
yet.
でキリエには死んだ
It
ふ
has
りが
allowed
許
for
され
Kiri
る
to be playing dead,
そしてガムテープ
and
の
the
封印
packing
は
tape has
3
already
年
been
を
used
使い
on
切
3
る
rooms,
キリエ
making
の
it
部屋を
impossible
封
for
じ
you
る
to
ことは
steal
でき
Kiri's
ないは
room.
ずなのにど
So
う
how
して
can you use the red truth
キ
to
リエ
say
に
that
バトラ
Kiri
ーが
can't
救え
save
ないなんて
Battler?
赤き真実
That
の
red truth has no
根拠が
basis.
ないわ
根拠はすぐに
I'll
教
tell
え
you
る
its basis soon.
さ
But
あそ
more
れより
importantly,
ラムダ
Lambda,
キリエではロジ
the
ックを
logic
通
with
せ
Kiri
なくなっ
has
た
ceased to function.
バトラと入れ
You
替
should
わる
probably
他の
find
方
another
法
piece to switch
ロ
places
ジックを
with
差し
Battler.
替えなさい
Don't you think?
ええ
Yes.
バトラーを助けら
There
れ
are
る
still
駒は
pieces that can save
まだ
Battler.
いるんだから
Reconstruct the logic. All we need is someone who can switch places with Battler. It doesn't have to be Kiri.
なら
Then let's
ナ
switch
ツ
it
キ
to
に差し替え
Natsui.
るわ後宮ナツ
Ishimi
キ
and
が
Natsui switch
バトラ
places
と入れ
with
替わった
Battler.
のよ
ドラノー
Delano,
やっちゃってください
良いです
as you wish. Broomsworth. I'm betting. Erica sealed the closet door. Dylan's red longsword smashed Natsui's piece into little bits. How? How can Erica deny this logic without the detective's authority?
後ろ宮ナツキ
Ushimi
には
Natsui
バトラ
cannot
を救え
save
ま
Battler.
せん
じゃあ
Then
エ
Eva.
ヴァ後宮エヴァ
Ushimi Eva.
後ろ
Ushimi
宮エヴァに
Eva
は
cannot
バ
save
トラを
Battler.
救えません
Then Rosa. Maria.
無駄です
Useless.
ローザにもマリ
Rosa
アに
and
も
Maria
救えない
cannot
の
save him either.
ですですですです
Des
です
des 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 des.
ですですです
Des
です
des
で
des
す
des
大
des
事です
des. Die the des.
センテンス中です
Sentence to death.
グレートイコール
The great equalizer is death. Woundsworth killed him. Objection. Erica-san doesn't have the detective's authority. How can she use any red
どうして
except
ガ
for
ムテープ
packing
の
tape
封印
seal?
以外の赤き異議却下
Objection
探偵
overruled.
権限を
Not
持たな
having
い
the
こと
detective's
もす
authority
なわ
does not imply that one
一
cannot
切
use
の
any
赤き
red
真
at all.
実が使えある
There's something she can use,
のね
right?
あるんです
English. I cry every time. Yes, there is.
探偵権限を持
There are
たない
several
人間
exceptions
に
that
も
even
許され
humans
ている
without the detective's
いくつか
authority
の
can
例
use.
外的な赤き
バカな
Insane.
そんなもの
There's no way.
あるわけがない
はい
Yes,
あり
there
は
is
しま
none.
せんしかし
However,
探偵権
there
限を
is a
持た
certain
ない
act
人間に
permissible
だ
only
け
to
許され
humans
てある
without
行
the
為
detective's
魔
authority.
女によって容易
And
に
it can
赤き
become a
真
truth
実
of
に
such
消化できる
overwhelming credibility
圧倒的
that
信
witches
頼
can
性を
easily
持った
raise it to
真
the
実
level of red truth.
となり得るの
探偵以外の人間に許されたある行為
Permissible only to humans who aren't the detective? You don't mean
エリカ
Erica. You...
お前
I
ピン
got
と
it.
きたわなるほどね
Yes, if I'm right,
それは有
this
効だ
red
わ
truth is valid.
赤き真実わか
I
りま
don't
せん
understand.
探偵権限が
This
ない
is
こ
some
とによ
power
って
that
許
can
され
only
る
be used
力
without
なん
the
てあるん
detective's
ですか
authority? There is.
一つだけ
There
ある
is just one.
ようやく
So he
気づかれ
finally
ました
noticed.
そうです
That's right.
私はその
That's
力
the
を
only
得る
reason
た
I
めだけ
abandoned
に
the
今
detective's
回
authority this time
探偵
around.
あなたは
You
気
told
が
me
向
I
いた
could
ら
make
い
the
つでも
detective's
探偵宣
proclamation
言を
whenever I
してい
wanted,
いと言って
right?
でも残念なことに
Unfortunately,
探偵宣
I
言
am
が
no
出せ
longer
ないん
capable
で
of
す
making that proclamation.
ノックス何条
Which Knox rule was it?
ノックス第
Knox is
70
seven.
探偵が犯人であ
It
る
is
禁ず
forbidden for the detective to be the culprit. You mean... What? Finally, Beato realized everything. Yes, the detective's authority bestows several powers that are useful for reasoning, but it eliminates one single privilege. That is Knox's seventh. It is forbidden for the detective to be the culprit.
今回のゲームでは
This game,
探偵
it
権
is
限のない
impossible
人
for
間には
humans without the
完全
detective's
な
authority
検視は
to
でき
examine
ない
corpses perfectly.
だから死者は全
So,
員死ん
there
だ
have
ふ
been
りで
several tricks for the
そ
dead
れ
who
で
have
自
been
在に
faked
歩き
and
回っ
walking
て
around where they
数々
please.
のポリそのロジックで
You probably
以後
thought
の
you
他
could use
の
that
犯
logic
罪を
to
進
create
めよう
several
と思われてい
impossible
たので
crimes
しょ
after
う
this.
私が探偵
When
宣
I
言
said
をし
that I
ない
would
と
make
言
the
い出して
detective proclamation,
あなたは内心これで勝ったと思ったはずです
somewhere on the...
あなたも狡猾ですね
You're pretty sly yourself.
ガムテープの封
You gave
印
me
を
the
与
packing
え
tape seal,
一
seemingly
定
out
慈
of
悲を与
mercy.
え結託して以
But
後
that
の
was
犯
because
行
you
を行
planned
え
to
る
have
手
all
は
the
ず
first
を
Twilight
整って
victims
あったから
survive,
です
band together, and carry out the crime.
ですから6
So you
人
gave
を
me
下
only
回
3
る
rooms
3部屋
worth,
分しか
which
与え
won't
なか
cover
った
all
んで
6
す
people.
どの部屋を
No
どう
matter
封
which
じる
rooms I
か
sealed,
あな
at
た
least
の
one
手
of
下
your
は
underlings
誰
could
か
move
が自
freely.
由にそのあたりから
You must have been
うま
plotting
く
to use
私
that
を
to
追い込
corner
んでい
me.
こうと企んでしかし
But too bad.
つくづ
Your
く
naivety really
あなた
pisses
の
me
甘さ
off.
にバカな男で
Stupid
す
man. I admit it.
お前らの猿
I
芝居
admit
に
that I
まん
fell
まと
for your
騙さ
monkey
れ
show,
お前に慈悲は
and that in my
与え
pride I tried to show you some mercy. That's right.
探偵権限な
Even
ど
without
な
the detective's authority, there is a way for
人
humans
間
to
に
do
はあるんだ
it.
絶
That's here, I think.
対検視を謝らない。
See you later, man. Take care. Hope you enjoyed and laughed at our stupidity. There's a way for humans to do it. A way to make sure that a corpse examination cannot fail. Is the human lying in front of you alive or dead? You can answer that question by examining the corpse. With just a quick glance, your chances of being right are 50-50. 50-50. Either way. Various bits of knowledge and experience can be used to obtain a more precise result. However, no matter how much you do that, while you can reach up to 99%, you can never reach 100% accuracy. That's what most people would think. However, there is one way to conduct a perfect examination,
殺す
and that is
というこ
to
と
kill
です
them.
探偵権限のない
Without the
私に
detective's
は
authority,
犠
I
牲者
can't
た
tell
ちが
whether
死
the
んでい
victims
る
are
のか
dead or
です
faking.
からそれを確定させる必要
And
そしてそれが
And, if
できる
possible,
彼らがお
it
と
would
な
be
しく駒
preferable
置
if
き
they
場
were
に退
removed
場
from
し
the
てくれ
game
て
board
以後のゲ
so
ーム
that they could make a
をお
mess
か
of
しな
things later
形で
on.
かき回さないでくれることだから私は
So I
慌ただ
dashed
しい
the
屋
chaos
敷内
filled
を借り
mansion,
すべて
visited
現場
all the
に
crime
一つで
scenes,
全員
and I re-killed all of them.
殺し直したのです
Now this is going beyond a dirty trick and saying, I'm rewriting all the rules because I can. Battler allowed her to retroactively seal the rooms, but or was it said that she was allowed to kill them, or that she did? That should have been explained. What on earth?
もちろん
Of course,
殺し
she
方も
couldn't
何
just
で
kill
もいい
them
わけじゃ
however
ない
she liked.
赤き真
It
実
had to be a
で
perfect way of
死を
killing,
断定でき
good
る
enough that their deaths could
完
be
璧な
determined
殺
with
し
the red
方でな
truth.
くエリカはそれをしっかり
Erica,
踏
make
ま
sure
え
of
て
that.
殺した殺す行為
The
その
manner
も
in
の
which
は
they
いろ
were
い
each
ろだ
killed differed,
その後殺
but
した
afterwards,
全員の
she
頭部を
completely
完全
severed
に
the heads
切断
of
し
all
た
those she killed.
これは
That method
赤
of
き
killing
真
is
実に
solid
消
enough to
化
be
する
called
に
the red
十
truth,
分な
right?
殺し方
Lambda?
ラム
Valid. The action, if that were to take place, would be valid,
頭部を
but
切
the
断されて
timing of when it happened
生
is
き
not.
ながらえる人間など
No human could
存在しない
survive after having their heads sliced off.
返り
Could
血
you
も
have
浴びず
severed
に
off all of
何
those
人も
heads
の
without
頭部を
getting
切
any
断なん
blood
て
on you?
できるんですか
例えば
For example,
厨房
you
か
could
ら
take
ゴ
a
ミ
large
用の
trash
大
bag
き
from
な
the
ビニー
kitchen,
ル
grab
袋
the
を
knife
持って
through
き
it,
てそして
then
ビ
you
ニー
covered
ル
the
で
entire
したい
corpse
全
with
体
the
を
trash
覆い
bag
な
as
が
you
ら
did
作
your
業
work.
すれば
You'd block nearly
返
the
り
hole
血
with
は
blood
ほ
splatter.
とんど防げますもちろん
I used enough
包丁
knives
も
and
ビ
bags
ニー
for
ルも
several
人数
people,
分
then
用意
left
し
them there at the crime
現場
scene.
に下手に持ち歩い
Of
て
course, I didn't
仕事を
humiliate
廊
myself
下に
by
走ら
walking
せた
around
り
with them,
自
leaving
分の
blood
服
in
を
the
汚し
hallways
たり
and
なんて
dirtying my
無
clothes.
様な真似はいいし現場には
There were
私
probably
の
some
指紋が
trash
つい
bags
た
at
ビ
the
ニール
crime
などが
scene
残
with
さ
my
れているで
fingerprints
しょう
on
が
them.
警察が
But
来る
since
ま
this
で
game ends
物
before
語
the
が
police come,
続かな
it
いこの
can't
ゲ
be
ーム
used
で
as
は
evidence.
何のぶ捨てていって
So there's no
何
problem
に
with
も
leaving
歌い
them
にも
there.
ならない
Are you insane?
など
What kind of
ミステリ
mystery
ー
would
許さ
ever
れる
allow
と
something
思っ
like
て
that?
それをファンタ
Can't
ジー
believe
側の
I'm
魔
hearing
女
this
に
from
言わ
a
れる
witch
と
on
は
the fantasy
心外で
side.
すご
Oh,
安心
don't
を
worry.
あなたは殺していません時間の都
I
合
didn't
で
have time to
最
sever
後に
the
発
head
見
of
さ
the
れ
last
たバ
one
トルさん
found.
がですので
So I just
い
sealed
た
the
だいた
whole
ガ
room
ムテー
with
プ
the
で
packing
部
tape
屋
you
ごと
gave
封
me.
印させたいえい
Then
え
again,
このシナ
it
リ
might
オを
have
読
been
み切
because I
っ
knew this
て
would
わざ
happen
と
and
泳が
wanted
せ
to
た
watch
か
you
もしれな
struggle.
いわけであ、そうだ
That's right.
殺したと赤
Just
で
as I
言え
can
るつ
say
い
that
で
I
に
killed them in red,
もう一
I
つ
can say one
赤
more
で
thing.
言えることがありました
At that point, Erica stopped for a second, and can she really be wearing an even uglier expression than everything before now? With that highest quality face, she spoke.
私が
All
殺した
5
5
people I
人全
killed
員
were
は
very much alive
私
until
が
the
殺
moment
す
I
瞬間
killed
まで
them.
皆さん律儀に
Everyone faithfully
殺さ
they
れる
did as
直
best
前
they
の
could
瞬
in
間
the
ま
moment
で
just before I
頑張っ
killed
て死んだ
them.
ふり
Okay?
をしていましたよ
And how are you allowed to say that?
マリアさんが
Maria
一
sounds
番
quite
頑張り屋さんでしたってあの子
After all,
同じ部
even
屋
though her mother had
で
already
先
been
にお
killed in
母
the
さん
same
がずっ
room,
と気づ
she
かず
kept on
に
playing dead
死んだ
without
ふ
even
りをしてた
noticing.
んだ
It's ridiculous. Up until now, many witches and demons have appeared in this tale. For the first time, here are true demons. Bastards! You bastards! This time, Beato understood the entire plot of this tale. This tale was just a story of a prank. Surely someone had thought of playing a slightly harsh trick on this inconsiderate guest, who loved to show off her intelligence and act the part of a great detective, and several people had agreed to go along with it. Then, the ones who would play the victims would go into their assigned rooms, set the chain, lock from the inside, and play dead to create a fake closed room murder. If you think about it that way, the rooms chosen for the corpses seem to make more sense. It was only natural for Natsui to die in her own room. If you're going to play dead, it's only natural that you'd want to lie down on your own bed. Eva's vanity is strong, so she must have asked to die in the VIP room. Kiria was in Krause's study. That was probably well air-conditioned and comfortable. Rosa and Maria were in the parlor. A soft sofa should have been a great place to play dead. Maria had done her best and had impressively acted the part of lying dead alongside the wall. Battler was in a guest room. The temperature here was also nice. The bed must also have been fairly pleasant. Yes, the victims for the first twilight had all died in comfortable rooms. In the past games, the corpses had often been found exposed in the courtyard or under the rose garden arbor, in the cold gardening shed or in the boiler room. This time, there were no victims in any such inhospitable environments. This is probably the truth. This is the story of a prank, with no one dead from the beginning. And then, this demon turned it into a real murder case.
エリカ教を罵
You
る
have the
権
right
利
to
が
speak ill of
あ
Lady
なたに
Erica.
しかし今
However,
それ
right
によ
now,
って矛盾
you
が
also
生
have
じ
the
たるし
obligation of showing a new
新し
logic
く再提
that
示す
doesn't
る
make
義
you
務
any
が
contradictions.
灰は灰
Ashes to ashes,
塵は
dust
死
to
死
dust,
体は死体
corpses to corpses.
さあバトラさん
Back to sun.
ゲ
Let's
ームを
continue
続
the
け
game.
ましょうあなたと入れ
Please
替わっ
present
て
a
くれ
different
る
human
人
to
間を
switch places
他
with
に
you.
出ないと
If you don't,
あなたの
your
トリッ
trick
ク
will become a
ロ
logic
ジックエ
error.
ラーにな
There's
り
now
ますよ
no one who can come to the rescue. Ericus killed all of them. Damn it! Back-san, please, calm yourself.
今は
Now's the time to hold back your
涙を
tears
こ
and
らえ
fight.
て戦いましょうあなたを助けら
Even
れる
if
子
you've
は
lost 5 pieces, we
5
can
人を
save you.
失っても
There's
まだ
still
ゲ
these
スト
other
ハウス
people in
に
the guest house.
11人もいます
そうだクラウス
Kraus,
秀吉
Hideyoshi,
ルドル
Rudolph, George, Jessica, Shannon,
ケン
Cannon,
ジコーダ
Genji,
熊
Koda,
沢南條
Kurosawa, Tanjo.
誰でもいい
It doesn't matter who, as long as someone comes here.
誰か
Somebody. Somebody
誰か
go.
来てくれ
でも
But it's no use.
これを
Please look at this. Gertrude, Cornelia.
緊急
Let it be
謹ん
known
で出頭する
that
も
we
の
are
なんだ
here and ready. What last one? Please look at this. What are these? Erica, who was now so excited that her pronunciation was tumbling all over the place, pointed at 2 doors. It was the hallway on the second floor of the guest house. They were in front of the cousin room and the next room over.
ほら
Look here, here.
扉これは何
There's something attached to the door. What is it? What is it? Hey, what is it, Gertrude?
緊急
Knows that it is the
いとこ
packing
部屋
tape
の
seal
ガ
of
ム
the
テープ
cousin
の
room.
封印と知りたまえ
Oh yeah? Very good. One more. What about this door?
緊急
No,
隣部屋
that
の
is
ガ
the
ムテー
packing
プの
tape
封
seal
印と
of
知
the
りた
next
てま
room
つれ
over. Oh, very good.
さあ
Okay, you two.
そしてどうぞ
Why don't you show everyone watching at home on their
お茶の間の
TVs?
双方の部屋の
Please have a
扉
look at the packing tape seals on both
さ
doors.
あそのどちら
What do
の
you
どう
think
で
of
す
them?
破れてます
Are
か
they
破
broken?
れて
Or
ま
are
せ
they?
んかさあ
Please,
高
let
ら
us
か
have the red
に
truth.
真実でお願い
緊急
Please,
謹んで
allow
申し
me
上げ
to
る
speak.
どちらも破ら
Know
れて
that
いない
neither
もの
is
と知りた
broken.
まえ破られてい
Knows
な
that
い
an
封印
unbroken
と
seal
はすなわ
proves
ち
that there are still
未
none
だ
who have
何
entered
者
the
の出入り
recipe.
も拒みたること封印を破ら
It
ずして
needs
の
no
出入
second
り
telling,
改
but
め
know
て
that
言うに
entering
及
your
ばず
exit without breaking the
不可能
seal
と知り
is
たてまつれ
impossible.
グッドです
Good to this.
バトラー
Beckler,
ご覧
it
の
is
通
as
り
you see.
あなたを助
There
け
no
に来
longer
ることが
exists
できる
anyone
人
who can
間
save
は
you.
もはや存在しな
The
いのです
victims of the first Twilight have all been killed, and the guest house is still sealed. No one can come to the rescue. Oh, very good. Erica had guessed that this moment had come so long ago, and that was why she had made the strategic move of suddenly sealing those two rooms. This answered the doubts Cornelia had felt at the time. Wondering why the human side player wouldn't want as many free humans as possible was a natural, simple reaction to that move. However, if you sealed up all humans, there would be no room for magic to intervene. Why is magic magic? Because the people who see it say that it's magic. Then, is it possible for magic to exist in a place with no people? Does the lack of anti-magic toxin mean that there's no problem? Wrong. Magic in a place that isn't being witnessed is no different from a delusion, a daydream. Magic that matches a result must be carried out by human hands. If all humans are sealed off, then magic cannot be created. This was Erica's strategy for this game, and her beautiful checkmate. Well,
誰が助
who's
け
going
て
to
くる
come
んです
save
か
you?
あなたと入れ替
Please
わ
tell me the identity of a real person who switched places with you, remained in the guest room in your
内
place,
側から
and
チ
set
ェ
the
ー
chain
ンロッ
lock
クを
from
か
the
けてくる
inside,
入れ歯の
if
話
they
です
even exist.
さあバトラー
Okay, Bethany,
あなたのロジ
your
ックは
logic has
今
been
た
interrupted.
誰があなたを
Who
助
could have
け
come
に
to
来て
save
くれ
you?
あなたは
You are now in the middle
ロ
of
ジ
a
ッ
logic
クエラ
error.
ーを起こしている
マッティがそれを
Wait, I'm still
考
thinking.
えてる。
バトラには
Bethany,
2つ
you
の
have
権
two
利と
options
1つの
and
義務
one
がある
duty.
1つの権
The
利
first
は
option is to build a new sort of logic to reconstruct your closed room trick.
もう1つの権
The
利は
second is to complain
ロ
and
ジック
admit
エ
to
ラ
your
ーを
logic
潔
error,
くそして1つの
and
義
you're
務は
obliged to choose
そ
one
の
of
どち
these
らか
options.
を必ず選ばなければならない
慈悲はあ
It
る
is merciful.
それを選択
There's
す
no
ることに
restriction on the amount of time you
課
have to
せ
make
られる
the
時間
choice.
制
That's
そう
right. Your
それ
time
こ
is
そ無
endless,
限に永
eternal.
遠にあるのだから
Sure, there's still some way, some twisted logic that can get you out of this.
とにかくきっと
Anyway, I'm sure there's still some way.
俺も考え
I'm
てる。
thinking about it. What about you, Beato?
何かあったら
Let
教え
me
て
know
くれ。
if you find anything.
かつてのベアと
I'm sure the old Beato could have managed
きっとなんとかで
something.
きる。あいつはこういう密室をいくつも作ってみせたんだ。
Not quite like this. Beato felt awful. Why was she Beato, and yet not? Surely the old hero would have thought up a trick under these restrictions. If only she could do that, she could guide Battler to victory. But she couldn't do it as her current self.
ええ
Yeah,
きっといいトリッ
I'm
ク
sure
が
you'll
思
think
い
of a
つく
good
い
trick.
つき
Eventually,
多
surely,
分おそ
probably,
らく
maybe.
無理だと
I'm
思う
pretty sure it's impossible.
ではバトラ
So then,
再
Battler,
び客室
let's
に
go
戻る
back
わ
to the
よ
guest room.
そここそが
From now on,
これ
that
からの
will
あ
be
なた
your
の世
world.
界
Once again, they returned to the slightly chilly guest room. It was the same room as before, of course, but it felt as though an unsettling darkness had crept in.
ここ
Here's
が
the
これ
room
から
you'll
あなた
spend
の
your
過
days
ごす
in
部
from
屋
now
ど
on.
んな方法
You
で
just
も
need to escape from this
あ
room
なたは
by
この部
eating
屋
games
から
you
抜け
want.
出せばいい
ただし
However,
条件
there
があ
are
ります
conditions.
お分かりと思いま
As
す
I
が
believe you know,
それ
these were
は
all
あな
things
たが
you
自ら
forced on
貸したも
yourself.
のですまずこの部屋
First,
は
this room
内
is a
側から
closed
作ら
room
れた
created
密室
from the
で
inside.
窓の封印
The
は
seals
健
of
在
the
ですの
windows
で
are intact, so there
窓
can
か
be
ら
no
の脱
escape
出
through
は
there.
バスルームから
Of
の
course,
脱出
there's
方
no
法
way
も
to escape by
も
leaving
ち
through
ろ
the
ん
bathroom.
はっきり断
I'll
言し
make
ま
it
しょう
simple.
この
There
扉
is
以
no
外に
exit to escape from
脱
except
出
for this
口はあ
door.
りしかし
However,
こ
the
の
chain lock
扉
on
に
this
は
door is set.
外すの
You
かけ
can
直す
unset
の
and
自
reset
由
it
です
all
が
you want.
そ
But
れ
you
は
can only
内
do
側
so
から
from
し
the
かできない
inside.
そして
Furthermore,
扉
you
か
are
ら出
free
る
to
こ
go
と
out
さ
the
え
door,
自由で
but
す
you
が
cannot leave or
チェ
escape
ーン
while
ロ
the
ック
chain
が
lock
かかっ
is
ている
unset.
あなたは
You have
チ
to
ェーン
show
ロッ
that
ク
you
を
can
維
escape
持した
from this room with the
こ
chain
の部
lock
屋か
still
ら脱
connected.
出してみせなくてはならず
そんな
But
できるわ
he
け
couldn't possibly.
できるわけ
He
が
couldn't
ない
possibly do it.
自らが
He
作
made
った
this
密
closed
室
room
だわ
himself.
一箇所だ
We
け
have arranged for
扉
just
とは
one
異
exit
な
other
る脱
than the
出口
door.
それはバスルー
That
ムに
one's
あ
in the
る
bathroom.
どうしても
My
バトラ
merciful
さん
master
が
has given you a
脱出する
last
ト
way
リ
out.
ックが思いつ
If
か
you
ない
fail to
時
think
の
of
た
any
めの
trick to escape,
涼しい
please listen
聞
up.
きなさい
Berncastle guided Battler to the bathroom. It was just a normal bathroom. The setup that had surprised Erica to buy time was no longer working. However, the bundle of wire and the nippers that had been used to prepare that trap still lay in the empty bathtub.
これは
Are you saying that I can use these
脱
to
出のため
escape
の道具に使ってもいいという。
ええどう
in
ぞ
a way? Yes, please feel
プ
free.
レゼントする
It's a present.
ただし
However, no
何
matter
を
what
使
you
おう
do,
とも
you can't
部
lock
屋
the
の
room
外か
from the
ら施錠は
outside.
封印もごま
And
か
you
せない
can't
け
build
れど
seals
ね
either.
こ
Okay.
の道具は
These
チ
tools
ェーン
aren't
ロ
here
ッ
to
クを
help
ご
you
ま
pull
かすた
some
めに
trick
ある
with
ん
the
じゃ
chain
ない
lock.
もっと直接
They're
的
here to let
に
you escape from this
あ
room
なたを
in
こ
a
の
more
部屋から
direct
脱
way.
出させるために
How am I supposed
ど
to
うや
use
って
this
使う
thing?
さすが
Not
デリ
bad, fair.
よくもつくづく
Not
そ
your
んな
mind's
え
as
ぐい
grotesque as ever.
この場所
There is an
か
exit
ら
that leads
直
directly
接
outside
外
from
部
this
につな
bathroom.
どこか見つけ
Can
られ
you
る
find it? You don't mean...
まさか
ベアトには
Did
分か
you
る
figure it out, Bed?
頼む
Please,
教えてくれ
tell me. That's
無理です
not possible.
頼む
Please,
どこ
where
だ
is it? Tell me.
ここでゲームを終わ
You
らす
can't
わ
let
け
the
に
game
はいか
end
ねえ
like
んだ
this.
そこ
There. Huh?
浴槽
Under
の
the bathtub?
下
あるじゃないですか
There's a round hole that leads straight out of this room.
丸いちょっと
It's a
小
bit
さ
small,
いけれど
though.
マエラマエラ
そこの浴
It's
槽
the
の
drain
底
right
の
there
排
at the
水
bottom of the bath.
そこからな
You
ら
can get out
チェ
through
ーンロ
there
ックを
without
維持し
touching
た
the
まま
chain
で
lock.
も確かに
Your body is
そ
a
の出
bit too
口から
big
出
to
る
get
に
through this
は
exit.
だから
That's
そ
why I
こから出
decided
ら
to
れる
lend you
よ
these
うに
tools here.
道具を貸してあげることにしたのよ
You can escape through the drain. How? She couldn't been using those nippers for 100 years to widen that hole, right? Battler and Beta had already realized. They had figured out this demonic way out that the demons were proposing.
このニッ
Just
パ
use those
あん
nippers
たの
and
体
cut your
を
body down to a size
通
that you
れ
can
るサイズにする
ブチ
crunch.
ブチのんびり
Might
と
as well sit
お
back
風
in
呂
the
の
tub
中
and
で
hot
自
shower
分の
as
体
she started to move
足
teeth
の
going
指あ
up.
たりから
Shift
少しず
and
つ
wash.
ちぎって投げすそれを繰り
Just
返
keep
せ
doing
ば
that.
あら不
Oh,
思
what do
議
you know?
あなたはい
You've
つの
suddenly
間に
managed
か
to escape from
密
the
室を
closed
脱
room.
出している
Oh,
不思議で
what
す
do you
ね
know?
我が主
Oh, what you know is right, my
そ
master.
れって兄弟
Looks like
揃っ
both
て
siblings
同じ
are
末
gonna end
路
up
で
the
す
same way.
でもベル
But burn?
それじゃ
At
あ
that rate,
最
just
後
the
にペ
handhold
ン
and
チ
the
を
nippers
握っ
will
て
be
る手
left.
だけが残っちゃう
そこで今度は
That's why
針
we
金
have
の
the
出
wire.
番あらかじめ
Beforehand,
バ
Batman
ト
will
ラは
have to
手
wrap the
首を
wire
針
around his
金で
wrist.
縛り
The stretchy other
そ
end
の
out
針
into
金
the
の
cord
先
of the
端
crack in the
と
door.
手首くらい
You
なら
should be able to
チ
fit
ェーン
just
ロッ
the
クの
wrist
隙
of the
間から
crack
も
left
き
by
っ
the
と
chain
出られ
lock.
るよそこまで
If
小
you're
さ
willing
く
to
で
do
き
that,
る
I'd be happy
私
to
が
pull
廊
that
下か
fire
ら
from the
針金を
hallway
引
and
っ
save
張っ
you.
てあなたをそこから
我が主
My master,
引っ張った
do
ら
that.
それバトラの
Battler's wrist.
何に
I don't know what you use that for.
でもダメ
But no, I've already
孫の
decided
手
to
に
use it as a
死
back
滅
scratch.
をしたらそれ
When
で
the time
あんた
comes,
の
I'll
背
scratch
中
your
も
back
ポリ
for
ポリしてあ
you.
げ
You
る
say.
どう
Yes,
我
my
が主
master.
はバト
Master's
ラの
gonna
手首
scratch
で
my
主
back.
に背中ポリポリ
Battler's
あいつらがうるさい
finding them annoying,
イラつく
irritating,
ムカつく
obnoxious.
大丈夫
Don't worry,
す
it'll
ぐ
get
に静
quiet
かに
really soon.
あなたの思考
All
を乱
noise
す一
to
切
disturb
の
your thoughts
永遠になく
will
な
now
る
disappear for all eternity until you can escape from this room.
こいつは嬉しい静か
I'll be glad of the quiet.
訂正すろ
これは
Here's
地獄
some
の
advice
生還
from
者
the
からの
survivor
忠
of
告の
hell.
賑やかさをよく楽しん
Enjoy
でお
this
きな
noise
さい
while you can.
あんたをムカつか
Even
せ
the
る悪
annoying
行
insults
増
you
満
hear
さ
now
永遠の静寂
will
の
bring
中
you
で
fond memories
正気を
preserve
保
your
つ温
sanity
か
that
な
makes
思い出
the
になり
eternal
うるんだ
silence.
からベルンやエリカが憎い
Did your hate burn in there?
ならばそれは
Then that's
ベル
their
ンたち
parting
の
gift
選
to
別
you.
よ憎しみがあ
As
る
long as you have hatred,
あなたは
you'll be
諦
able
め
to
ずに
avoid giving up.
諦めるってのはね
Giving up has a completely different meaning here. Okay?
諦めて
Prepare yourself
なお
while
出
you
られる
can
地獄今のうちから
for
覚
the
悟なさい
eternity of the hell you'll be in when you've given up, but still cannot escape.
今
Did you just call
あなた
yourself
は
a
生還者
survivor?
じゃああなたも
And also,
私もね
you know, every once in a
たま
while,
にねあの恐怖が
that
蘇る
terror
の
comes
よ
back to me.
私は
I
本当
wonder
に
whether I really
こ
have
の地
escaped
獄
from
を
that
抜け
hell.
られたのかし実は
What if
私の心がとっくにおかしくなっていてあの地獄の中に未だいながらここにこう
the
してい
same
て
delusion of us all chatting
楽しく
happily
あんた
like
た
this?
ちと話をしているという未だに悪夢に怯えさせら
That
れるんだ
nightmare still terrifies me.
私は
So,
これが夢でないと永遠に feel.
感じ続けていなきゃ
Truly
なら
feel
ないの。
that this isn't a dream.
ね
Hey,
え、あんたたちは
are you
guys
本当に現実
real?
未だに地獄の
Or
中に
just
いて
an insane illusion
壊
of
れた
having
私が
inside
見
that
ている
hell?
妄想じゃないの
Right?
ね
Right?
え
Right?
ねえ
There was something in Mamadilta's pleading expression that sent shivers down the spine. It was probably more terrifying than any threatening word she could have used with even the most vile expression on her face. It's time for Battler to realize a logic error isn't so sympathetic that you can just stick out your tongue, ask for forgiveness, and say you'll be more careful next time. It is never worth risking one by leaving things up to chance, even if you feel that you can't back down at this point in the fight. It's time for you to face reality and learn the true risks and terrors implied by the words, betting one's life on a fight, which must sound so exciting for a man.
バトラさん
Get yourself.
しっかり
Get a hold of
私
yourself.
も真剣に考え
I'll
ます
think deeply upon it as
こ
well.
の部屋から脱
I'll
出する
make
ト
the
リッ
trick
ク
to escape this room
一
with
生
all
懸
I've
命
got.
きっと助けに
I'll
行き
come
ま
to
す
save you. Yeah.
絶対に考
I'll
えつい
definitely
てや
think
る
of
から
something.
な
Just
見
watch.
てろ
ではお名残
Well,
惜しい
regretfully, it's
これ
time
で
for
は
us
こ
to
れ
leave.
彼の
We
仕事の
mustn't get
邪
in
魔
the
は
way
で
of
き
this
ない
job any longer.
それで
See you
は
later,
バトラさん
Battler-san.
あな
Or,
た
like
の
you'd say it,
方と
see you again. Right?
Have a nice
Have a nice day.
じゃあね
Later,
バトラ
Battler.
しっかりね
Good luck.
バトラさん
Battler-san,
絶
don't
対
give
諦
up.
めないで必ずトリック
I'll
を思
certainly
いつ
think
き
of
ま
a
で
trick.
私も考えて
I'll think as well. And I'll come to save you.
ベアト
Beato? Before he could finish saying Beato's name, they had all disappeared. They hadn't disappeared in a golden spray or turned into butterflies and flown away. Just as though there had never been anyone in this room since the beginning. Everyone but him had vanished in an instant. Nothing remained. Not their voices, their presence, their warmth, nor even the faint perfume Beato had worn. The frigid air of the room was wrapped only in the lonely sound of the wind and rain. With that overpowering feeling of isolation, I finally began to realize how horrible a punishment this would be.
ふざけや
Damn
がっ
those
て
bastards.
こんな部屋
It can't be that hard to
簡
get out
単
of
に
a
出
room
られ
like
るじゃね
this.
えいいか
I mean, room
Hey,
for
up to
mates
no
so that
now.
people can go in and out of them.
出たり入ったりがでそれがで
If
き
they
なかっ
can't do
たら
that, you wouldn't call it
部
a
屋
room.
とは言わねえんだよ
How pointless. It's easy to undo the lock and chain from the inside. Damn it. For some reason, I've always been clumsy, and undoing the chain lock always gives me trouble. Oh, it's off. How pointless. Look, I can already open the door whenever I want. Hey, what's this cold feeling on my neck? What the hell is this? Why is there suddenly this iron collar around my neck that's attached to a chain? I get the feeling there's like 3 minutes left in the story, but I also feel like this is a spot to stop. Because we are over time. So, I'm gonna stop here. Maybe we'll pick up the tea party in the next time. Yeah, I'm gonna stop for today. And call it for now. Because I don't know what's in store for me. But, looks like, all of them are definitely decapitated. And that's why they had the half red, half not dead thing on all those things. Alright. But that'll be it for today. And what a interesting chapter it was. I have a big gripe with Erica's entire move. She didn't say it, therefore it wasn't declared as a move. Because if she took out the pieces, Balor wouldn't have them and couldn't move them. He would know that ahead of time. That's why retroactive things are a big no-no. Retroactive is the quickest, easiest, fastest way to a logic error in any story. Period. Oh, well, I just went back in time and did this. How'd you go back in time? Well, I did, and there you go. But anyway, that's it for today. We're past the time limit, so see you later. Have a good one. We'll have Umineko again tomorrow. We'll wrap this up and At least start on episode 7? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Take care, everybody.